Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
I never asked your name.
Garland. My name's Bob Garland.
KZ Excellent.
Blah, 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 blah.
And Mr. Feel.
Bing, bing, wahoo.
Here on GigaBoots.
Mr. Feel, we don't often keep secrets from you.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
This was one we had to keep until now that we are recording this week's Big Think Dimension.
You're talking about what happened last night, aren't you?
Yes. After we watched other things on Disney+, we fell into watching 2 random episodes from the latest season of The Simpsons.
Oh, no! Oh, fuck!
We laughed. Now streaming season 32, and you scroll through, and I'm like, that one's about podcasts. We should watch that.
Yeah, so we watched episode 6 of season 32. Marge and Lisa get addicted to true crime podcasts. Grandpa is accused of a crime, and Kent Brockman questions his career. And also episode 7, 3 Dreams Denied. Bart becomes a voice actor. Comic book guy is humiliated at Comic-Con. And Lisa is set up for a fall.
The 7th one was, I was like, yo, that says Bart becomes a voice actor. And you're like, guess we'll do another.
We finished the first one, and it was so empty. It was so soulless. It might have been the worst cartoon I've ever seen.
Okay, I have the metric that we've all watched. Were they better or worse than the 2 random episodes of Celebrity Deathmatch we watched that one night?
They were both way worse because
much.
at least that got good at any point.
Like, this is the important part. We're watching, and it goes, and it keeps going for maybe 2 minutes. And then I look at Dan, and Dan's looking, and we have this face of our blood has run cold.
Yeah.
I've never felt like this way watching anything.
Yeah, it's weird, Feel. I assume you haven't seen any of the 32nd season.
Of course. Yeah, I tap out at like 11 or 12.
Yeah. How do you describe this?
I don't know. The second episode has 5 plots in it just so they can fill an 18-minute episode.
These 2 episodes have a 6.9 and a 6.3 on IMDb.
That's high.
No, those... Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of IMDb, those are really low scores for a thing to have that's remotely from a popular franchise.
Yes.
Holy shit. Okay. So the first episode, it's literally, as it described, Marge and Lisa get addicted to a true crimes podcast, and they just get really into it, and they talk about it all the time. And then eventually, their grandpa, Lisa's grandpa, is on a boat with someone who goes missing. And so their grandpa gets framed because allegedly he's the one who did it. And it's just this one plot line for the entire episode, really. Technically, the Kent Brockman becoming a podcaster instead of a news person is so forced in and not even its own whole plot line.
I like that part's so poorly written, they can't even nail down how many episodes of his podcast are released.
Yeah, they really could not.
Yeah, they were like... At one point, after he's become very popular, you say, oh, yeah, he's only on episode 2.
No. That guy was only listening to episode 2.
Oh, okay.
Because when you watch those things, you need to listen to them in order.
Right. All right.
Yeah. It's... So this first one has this plot line, and believe me when I say, the only funny jokes came out of Homer's mouth. And it didn't happen for the first 4 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
I know. Like, way back in the day, I followed a blog that was just like, I am going to watch the first 300 episodes of The Simpsons and review them. And the first 10 seasons are like, oh, this is great. And then it slowly tapers off to the last one where he's like, I have now had to change my 5 favorite joke segment to the one time I laughed.
That was me watching these of, Homer made a good line. That probably was ad-libbed. All right.
Yeah, it was genuinely terrible. So that's the problem with that one episode. There's one plot line. It's not very good. It's not a murder mystery like Simpsons has done a few different times. There isn't any sort of structure to get the audience thinking in the least. They don't cover the crime itself at all. And all the writing around it is very two-dimensional, very slow. Not very interesting. The next episode has a completely different problem. It has 3 insanely brief, very two-dimensional plot lines all going at once, and somehow it feels like you got the Cliff Notes version of each one. It's very bizarre. Like, I don't know. It literally, like, how do you describe it? It just, they were like, okay, we're doing a plot line of this. Write as many words as you can about that. It feels like a word writing requirement in academia, right? It's like, okay, fill this many words in. That's it. We're good. Move on.
Yeah, we were talking about how it felt almost like they just had a few scripts sitting around left over.
Yes.
And they threw a dart to figure out what they'd do. Which one do they show together? Which pages they use?
Yeah, the second episode, the 3 Dreams Denied, it felt like someone went around the writer's room, picked up a bunch of scraps of, like, things that never made it into a Simpsons episode. What are you talking about, guys? We got a whole episode right here. It made no sense, too, for one of them, where they're just like, yeah, I guess that kid's evil.
Yeah, the Lisa plotline made the least sense of any of them to be in this episode. It wasn't connected in any way.
Also, when the description starts with Bart becomes a voice actor, I expect that to be the primary plot line of the episode. No.
Yeah, no.
That thing has maybe
3
a
minutes.
minute and a half in the entire episode. It's nuts. It's like, what? So what I'm trying to say is, having watched a random episode of The Simpsons 10 years ago, I didn't realize how much worse it could get.
Oh,
Yeah,
They've been on this downward trend for 20 years now. They have. It's gotten insane.
there is now 3 times as much bad Simpsons as there is good Simpsons.
God.
we had that moment. It's like, check the time. It'd been 7 minutes.
Yeah, it was rough. It was also the roughest celebrity cameo I think we've ever seen in an episode of The Simpsons.
I wasn't even sure if that was a celebrity cameo, honestly.
I'm going to look it up just to be sure, but I'm pretty fucking sure that was a celebrity cameo.
Yeah, the second one was just Paul Rudd.
Was that real Paul Rudd?
I can only assume now that they're Disney.
Yeah, that's fair. I was like, yeah, Paul, please come in for a thing.
Apparently, that was a guest star of the actual voice of Lisa playing herself because she also does a true crime podcast.
Oh.
Just fucking cancel it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was our
man.
Simpsons segment. Forever.
Okay. Yeah, forever. I never want to talk about this show again. Don't talk to me, my co-host, or my co-host ever again.
I'm fine with talking about the first few seasons, sure.
Yeah, I would love to go back and rewatch most of that. I feel like season 1, it must be so alien to look at.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I've seen much of that.
I tried once. I was like, what are you?
It's like from another dimension.
Anyway, we play video games and we talk about them on this podcast.
Yeah. Do that.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
We played 2 versions of Metroid 1 and 3 versions of Metroid 2.
We played a lot of versions of Metroid 2.
It was really great.
It's because you like Metroid 2 so much, right, Bob?
No.
I do like Metroid 2 so much. Oh, you weren't asking me? Then you were asking the wrong person. But yeah, no.
Can't believe Dan hates Metroid 2 is what people would get out of this podcast.
One thing I can say is I'm glad both AM2R and Samus Returns make the very wise choice of making the final boss fight of Metroid 2 sane. The original version of that is so coked out. And the fact that the winning strategy is to, cold fish in the corner of a room and just let the queen hit you over and over as you spam missiles.
Yeah.
That's the quickest way to kill her. It drives
Very
me insane.
Zelda 2 core.
At least then you're not taking hits because you're just spamming the stab in the corner. But you're totally right. That is very Zelda 2 core. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I feel like the Samus Returns, I ended up liking it a lot more than I was worried I would. I think the boss fights are really well designed in that, which I really did not expect. Mercury Steam has made some pretty terrible boss fights over the years. So
every Lord of the Shadow boss fight is absolutely abysmal.
Yes. Yes. I mean, in a sense, that digging robot is it's kind of like a Colossus. You have to crawl all over it in two different ways.
A little bit, but it's
Multiple
used
different
mechanics
times.
that are actually in that video game Metroid Samus Returns, and
Yes.
not mechanics that are not in the video game Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Yes. It's that, but in an insane context, right?
Yes.
And it works well at all. That was nice. They need to port that game off the 3DS because, as Bob and I said at least 10 times throughout that stream, the number one problem with that game is it's on the 3DS.
Yeah, almost every problem I have was that directly comes from that.
Yeah. It was a really enjoyable game. The countering is a really neat mechanic. The game just runs at 30 frames per second, and I'm using a circle pad to aim.
Yeah, because even when we get the stronger shot, it didn't feel like countering was 100% necessary anymore.
No, I mean, everyone got mad at me because I just kept dodging the Omega Metroid like a normal game instead of using the counter. And I'm like, yeah, but this game seems like if you're really good at normal, Metroid, that in a boss battle context, then you don't have to use the counter, right? And that's good. Because you know how many fucking Mercury Steam core-ass video games are like, you didn't do the one shitty mechanic we're shoving down your throat. This fight's impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Samus Returns is easily Mercury Steam's best fucking game. It's a really good Metro game. I really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to Dread.
Yeah, it was a super neat direction for the series, I felt. Like, they found a way to make shooting more interesting in that context.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate. I appreciate that there is the scanning thing you use the Eon energy to do.
Oh yeah, where you can just do a burst and see it'll highlight all the breakable walls in the area.
Because eventually, at the end of the day, you should probably give the player, some easy way out relatively.
Yeah,
like
not touching every inch. What was it?
Not
licking
licking the ceiling, which is the most Metroid 2 thing possible. It's like the original Metroid 2 and AM2R to some extent just have giant, big, open rooms. And it's like, well, time to turn into the spider ball and move across every inch of this ceiling.
Yeah, conceptually, that spider ball is cool.
Oh, the spider ball is really cool.
But what it causes to happen in those games is very bad.
Yes. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, I still really like the original Metroid 2. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I think my largest problem is just fighting the queen at the end. AM2R I'm less hot on than I feel like a lot of people are. They really enjoy it. It's neat. It goes really hardcore fan game at one point when the normal progress of the game is halted completely, so you can go to a completely new area that seems more like a spaceship from Fusion or something. Or an energy generator from Fusion, and then you cause an overheat, and it's like, you need to escape this area of the map, it's gonna explode, and you're running out, and it's dangerous, and then Super Mecha Death Christ busts in the wall, and I'm like, excuse me? And then it just starts yelling, fuck ass.
Are you being serious?
It's not literally that, but the way it's animated and how shitty it looks.
Look,
you got to remember,
after that Castlevania
game.
one,
right?
Yeah, after that Castlevania one, I can't know.
That's true.
Feel.
We didn't pray to Soleil
Feel this
or
thing,
Soleil.
It looks like Mutoid Man.
Yo!
It's Mutoid Man as seen through the eyes of Super Mecha Death Christ or whatever.
It's Mutoid Man plus a Chozo.
A Mutoid Man rules.
It's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
God, I pulled up an image of Super Mecha Death Christ. That is, yeah, no, that really does look like this motherfucker.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Come on!
I forgot exactly what he looked like.
The problem is I don't know what the name of that boss was in AM2R because it's not from Metroid. Okay, here we go. I typed in AM2R boss and it's the first thing that comes up on Google. There you go. Just imagine how shittily animated it is, and you can sort of understand where it come from. That thing literally bust open a wall and started firing, and it was comical as shit. It was also the part where I started to like it a little bit less, and then the next time we hit a fan area, which was completely new, I had to do physics puzzles that were not the best thing in the world, because they're like, no, you can't move the ball with your gun. You have to move it with the bomb. I'm like, this is... Thank you.
Yeah, that was.
That does seem fan gamey, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fan gamey.
It gets so fan gamey, it's kind of ridiculous.
I get why people like it, though. It feels like Zero Mission, which is the best Metroid game. We haven't played Fusion yet. We're going to do that on Friday, but I really doubt Fusion's going to take it from Zero Mission.
Yeah.
Doesn't AM2R also have like stand on this thing and now you control a hopping enemy guy?
Yes. Yeah.
That's another very fan gamey thing.
Yeah, it was like turn into a ball and crawl into this thing, and now you're piloting a shitty hopper mech, and you need to hold this bomb and jump it across this obstacle course.
Ooh.
Well, the great part about this is now there's precedent for you to play before and after the sequel during Sonic Month.
I literally made that joke to Bob. I'm like, are you excited for Sonic Tuesday, where we play Sonic 2 before the sequel and after the sequel?
I told him, no, I'm not excited for that.
I played both of those. They're fine.
Yeah.
That's about the response you could probably get about AM2R from us.
Yeah.
Except for the part where the creator's insane is like, no, Sonic 1 was right. Zones should be three acts.
Yeah, people who fall on that side of the split are just, I can't bridge the gap between me and them as people. That's just incorrect. We don't need 3 fucking acts.
I don't need 15 minutes of this one aesthetic.
You don't? Because our budget does. But yeah, AM2R was really neat. I get why people like it. I'm not the biggest fan. I actually would fall on the side of Samus Returns. We're going to talk about spoilers for Samus Returns, if anyone cares.
To avoid spoilers, jump ahead about 60 seconds. All right, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Fucking Ridley comes in at the end.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, genuinely, I sat there for most of that game, and I'm like, if they just shove in some shit from Super, I'm gonna be really annoyed. Like, I think honestly, if we found Ridley in the planet, that would have annoyed the hell out of me.
That's fair, because he shouldn't be there.
And then you reach the end of the game, you got the baby, the baby, and you're escaping the planet. And then Ridley shows up and is just like, what's up, motherfuckers? And I'm like, whoa, that's pretty Ridley.
And then you recreate parking lot Metroid.
That shit was really cool. And his fight is so fun.
Yeah.
They did such a good job on his fight and the Queen's fight. Oh, so fucking good.
Yeah.
I did not expect that, especially since throughout the game they keep using themes from 1 and Super. I'm like,
Because 2 doesn't have music.
2 has amazing music when it wants to, and it will only play it when it wants to.
It has 2 tracks.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like 4. But admittedly, one of them starts with explosion sounds and garbled Metroid sounds.
One of them is a title screen music.
Yes, I'm counting that.
This.
That theme's really good. That is such a fucking good soundtrack for those 4 songs, and then the rest of it is spooky sounds. And so compared to modern games, it has way more music because it's got 4 melodies. But yeah, I was shocked by how much I like Samus Returns. I think I would actually fall on the side of I like the original and Samus Returns both more than AM2R just because of the weird fan game stuff in AM2R. We also played 1 and Zero Mission. Bob and I noticed the thing about Metroid 1 and 2 and how they both have shitloads of rooms that look almost identical. In the case of Metroid 1, are literally identical to the point of the destructible blocks are in the same place, but in this room they lead nowhere.
Yeah, Metroid 1 is the most by Nintendo power video game ever made.
Also, Metroid 1 has more energy tanks than it has slots to give you extra life bars. So
Yes.
You found one. It doesn't do anything.
good job. You found them all, kid. You get nothing for the last one because fuck you. Metroid 1's really neat. I always thought when I came to beat that game one day, the context of the game would make Mother Brain, that boss fight, still seem annoying as hell. But after dealing with Kratos and Ridley, I'm like, wow, look at this Mother Brain fight. It's the most structured, sane boss fight in the game.
It's not stand next to them, shoot missiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a long time for Metroid to get decent boss fights. It might even take all the way to Samus Returns.
Oh, no.
I guess the Zero Mission has some decent stuff.
I don't know. Metroid 2 had some pretty good boss fights.
No, absolutely not.
You shoot the Metroids on these tiny spots where they can be hit, except for the first one where it's all over, unless you're playing M2R, in which case it's only the underside.
Yeah, no, when AM2R did that, it made the regular Metroids harder to kill. I was like, okay. I already don't have much patience for the structure of Metroid 2, and you've made it worse.
You're like, listen here, chump. I've got 48 of these to kill. I don't need each one to be a bold new day.
And that was one was a little extra rough because he came right off of Return. So fighting regular Metroid in that was actually pretty fun. Like the first kind was like, okay, this is you like do one counter and then missile them to death and they explode and it feels good.
Yes.
Like it feels almost like that scene from RoboCop where they shoot the man to pieces.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about the RoboCop fan film.
No.
No.
Yeah, no. All the Metroids are really fun to fight in Samus Returns.
Yeah.
I like them all.
In terms of like bosses in Metroid games, I feel I enjoyed Kraid in Zero Mission.
Zero Missions are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Zero Missions bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, did I end up not fighting any of the bosses on our playthrough? I think.
Oh no.
I think that may be right.
And
Yeah, 'cause
Dan's busy shooting and going, what a great game.
I mean, yes,
Dan
that
did blow through most of that game.
Zero Mission is a fucking great game.
Especially when you jump into it immediately after playing Metroid 1.
Yeah. Zero Mission and Fusion probably have both pretty good boss fights. So it's just, the 1 and 2 definitely did not. Super Metro, still you haven't replayed it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
People
know.
in chat were saying that they were bad, and I was like, I remember them looking pretty, but I don't remember.
Every single one I remembered mechanically, I was like, yeah, chat may be right on this one. They may be bad.
Yeah, I was like,
but they look amazing.
right. Like that game feels bad in general, so I can imagine mechanics as a boss fight might not be good.
Yeah, I have to wonder how much Super Metroid's game feel would be improved by increasing jump speed and gravity.
Yeah,
Because it's the doofy jump that always is like the goofiest feeling part. Because when you go to Fusion and Zero, you fall. You jump up hard and you fall hard. And I think that's really important for a game that's very vertically oriented. And most of your traversal will involve jumping repeatedly.
ain't nothing as vertically oriented as Metroid 2, though. I mean,
That thing is, imagine a skyscraper that's a bucket. That's the final area of that game.
I don't know why this is wrong with them.
Every remake made that bucket smaller. It's really good. Samus Returns is like, maybe this bucket should have anything in it. I'm like, yo, you designed a level where this bucket once was. That's insane, yo.
I could tell Metroid 2 was really bad when I came out here the next day. And you were like, let me tell you about how fucking bad Metroid 2 was.
It's really just the final battle that I fucking hate.
Yeah, where you just talk about Bob going insane over the music.
For me, there are two parts of Metroid 2 that are downright maddening. Both involve space jump. Giant bucket, which you need to space jump all the way to the top of. And that weird vertical shaft all the way to the right in like the third area where there are flippers on the side that'll pop up for you to jump on occasionally. You also need to infinitely space jump out of that. It was hell. It was hell. Those two parts really suck. And of course, the Metroid Queen sucked. But so much of that game I really enjoy. As for Metroid 1, it's really funny seeing baby Kraid and baby Ridley.
Ridley's like only maybe half an inch taller than you.
Yep. It's fucking hilarious. Everyone said he was too big for Smash.
What if we got that Ridley?
I kept saying we should get that Ridley. It's just baby Ridley.
Do not spoil next week's reveal.
Next week's reveal will be tall Luke.
Oh, yeah, bigger Luke, man. We were talking about that.
Bigger Luke.
Yeah, we were having some nice discussions and educating Dan because he didn't know what bigger Luke is.
This is a nightmare. I'm a Google it right now because I still haven't seen any images or anything.
Google it because it shows you the silhouettes of Luke and bigger Luke.
I type bigger Luke theory.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, just go into
Luke Prime,
immediate
bigger Luke.
Yeah, put that in there. We're putting it in the podcast.
Oh my God, what the fuck is going on?
What? The people have screenshots of moments in that film where it clearly looks like Luke has grown when standing next to Harrison Ford.
What do you mean there's a wiki for the bigger Luke?
Of course there is.
Because it's an insane fan thing. So
And probably real.
God.
Luke Prime. Bigger Luke.
Yeah, fucking Mark Hamill tweeted. He's like, I haven't seen him though.
Fucking Mark Hamill. I love him so much.
This shit's insane. What the fuck is wrong with this?
Whoa.
But yeah, I think it was somewhere around that, the bigger Luke thing that Casey brings up during the stream, that we decided to stop calling them super missiles and keep calling them big missile.
Yes.
Which, to be
Like
fair,
Big Riddle.
yes, like big riddle. Oh man, I'm super excited for Fusion Super, Bob.
Yeah.
That's
That'll
gonna
be a
be
lot
great.
of fun. And then we get to play Other M.
Yep,
Remember me?
I sure do.
Remember me?
I'm really glad I made the fucking 4K video of that, so that way when I needed the sound clip for this month's streams, I could find it easily. God, what a fucking game. Anyway, I think that's all I had to say about Metroid.
Okay.
Aside from that, I haven't played anything.
Yeah, you did. You played Sly Thieves in Time Week. That was between this last podcast and this one.
Yes. Yeah, we played Flight 4 right before Metroid.
That accounts for a Friday.
Yeah,
Oh my
you've
God.
you've just been streaming for 60 hours in the past week.
Okay, I seriously need you guys to understand.
Yeah.
In my head, we did 2 big streams. I thought Sly 3 was Friday a week earlier.
Well, Sly 4.
Sly 4, whatever.
Yeah, no, you did Slive's Thieves in Time, then said Metroid month starts Sunday.
Yeah, I forgot. In retrospect, we did 2 big streams, and I thought, we did
I
Friday.
also forgot.
We did Friday and Sunday.
Yeah, I also forgot till
Yeah.
Phil said, and I went, yeah, they're in hell.
Yeah, because I remember, because it's like, okay, we'll do Luck of the Irish fucking Sunday or whatever. We don't need to kill ourselves. Then we must do it this time, for we must die.
I went to bed Friday night early because I'm like, whatever. He said we aren't doing anything this weekend. I wake up at 7 a.m, see a text. We'll be doing it on Saturday.
We have to.
Yeah, there was no choice.
It was like, oh no, I just did math. What a nightmare. Anyways, we can talk about Sly Thieves in Time. The game seems all right. It's pretty neat when somebody comes back to like a thing that they're making. What was it? 8 years later.
Yeah, it was a huge amount
It
of
was
time.
like 8 years later. They're making a sequel to a franchise, and it's made by another developer. But they seem to really get the game feel and a lot of other things about the game nailed down. It seems like Sony gave them a decent budget. So many things are right about it that I would expect wrong in this exact situation. But then
Paptimus Sirocco shows up.
What?
I mean, that dude has a real Scirocco energy. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
God, I'm not comfortable with this, but you're right.
This literal skunk has Scirocco energy.
Yes.
Which also, the reverse could be said. Scirocco has skunk energy.
Also true.
But the plot of the game is really what upsets people because of a character twist, which every time people kept saying it, I was expecting like us to have the Captain America Hail Hydra moment with Sly or something. But
yes.
it wasn't quite that. So we're good. We're good.
Yeah, I feel like the real problem is they are obviously writing this as like a trilogy.
Yes.
We got chapter 1.
Yes.
So every single thread was left hanging in the worst way. And people just assume that it's irredeemable.
And the final boss fight felt more like walking into a studio and being shown 2 different options for the final boss fight that aren't done, and they cut between each other. It was really jarring. And I wish I could go more into detail, but it would absolutely spoil the shit out of it.
One thing that wasn't spoiled, the final boss fight's a QTE.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously not done.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we did Sly Month. I'm really glad we did Sly Month. I look forward to the day we eventually do a Jack Month as well. It feels great to finally go through these franchises, these Sony first-party platformers that I never really went through, between, Ratchet and Sly and upcoming Jack. feels pretty great. Then we can start digging into Sony's library from the PS2 that literally no one remembers, like that Bruce Lee game.
I always forget that's... Wait, is it
Jet
Jet
Li.
Li? Okay,
Jet
I
Li
was
game.
like... They did Jet Li because Bruce Lee was on a game on Xbox
I vaguely
original.
remember.
What is the Jet Li game called? Is it just called Jet Li?
It's like something of honor, I think it is.
That sounds right.
Jet Li, Rise to Honor.
Yeah. You can play Draken, the Ancient's Gates.
That was made by...
That's the first party Sony game.
What?
Wow. Here, I thought it was going to be Mark of Kree or something.
I mean, that is also a Sony first party game.
Yeah, is Mark of Kree no, it's Legend of K that got like a remaster and got put on PS4.
Yeah, no one's talked about Mark of Kree since we did our video 11 years ago on it. That's bad because it's one of our first 3 videos on the channel.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably still won't like any of the character designs or art in that. It'll be rough.
I don't know. It's got a real aughts animated film energy to it.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it. A lot of characters look big and move in a certain way that's like the Emperor's New Groove.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's weird. I really like the Emperor's New Groove, but something about being like, it's the Emperor's New Groove, but it's hardcore and serious that makes me go
man.
cringe.
Man,
Okay.
it felt like you shot me straight in the chest. Like, what?
It would have been this analogy would only work, Bob, if David Spade was in this game and he was being dead serious.
Yeah, Cusco fucks.
and then Kuzco gets captured and gets tortured for 7 years.
Oh no.
Yeah, and Crunk eats people.
Uh-huh. But yeah, I'm really glad we went through Sly Month. I'm really enjoying going through Sly 10 days. We were supposed to double up on Sly streams, but because of my computer falling apart throughout the month and how long each game is, that wasn't really that feasible.
No, each of those games is over 10 hours, except the first one.
Yeah, the first one's like 9.5, 10-ish.
Yeah.
And then the second one's 18. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that how long we spent in there?
Something like that. Maybe 16, but it was way up there.
Yeah, we split it across 2 streams because of that. And then Sly 3 was 16?
I think
11?
Sly 3 was like
11?
13.
13. Yeah. Yeah. All those games are chunks. You can beat 2 to 3 Metroid games in that amount of time. But yeah, really, really good shit. Really enjoyed going through that with people. Hey, Bob.
Yeah, what's up?
That is all I played in the last week that I could talk about. What have you been playing?
I got into that Halo Infinite beta.
So did I.
Yo.
I didn't get to play much. I got to play like I think 2 whole rounds, and 1 half round I had to leave halfway through to come do a stream.
Okay. Yeah, I played maybe an hour and a half.
You have an AI voice in your head the whole game.
Yeah, you get to pick between like 4 of them.
Yeah, they're all very funny.
Yeah, I picked the one that just sounds like standard soldier man.
Even he's very funny. He assures you.
Yeah.
You grapple hook, and he's like, "We're flying." I chose one of the other ones that's supposed to be like, just I am call from Mighty Number 9. Everything is very normal, and she's like,
Your normal tablets.
"Yeah, I do 2 kills in a row," and she says, "You're getting better." Like, please.
What the fuck? What the fuck? 343.
Don't ask
Like-
them. They don't know. They literally don't know. How could they know?
Yeah, like we can charge for this. People will buy these AIs.
This is something that's an armchair devs feature.
Yeah. It really is. Because it's most of the time nothing to do with the battle overall. If it were that primarily, I would understand at any level.
Yeah.
It isn't.
It's like when you play Fight Night on the PS2, so they have like an announcer, but they can't really react that much to what specifically is happening. So it's just like, oh, he's working that defense as that person's getting pummeled.
Yes. I have no idea why anyone would want this feature. Also, they do a super weird thing with weapon pickups. You know how usually in a game like this, you just have a big pickup sitting on the ground, very obvious glows, looks like a weapon.
Yeah.
In this game, they're like, no, that's too unrealistic. all the weapons on the map spawn in little lockers that are stuck to the wall. They glow a little bit, but we don't want it to be too unrealistic. It's just, it has to be sitting in the environment more naturally. It's like, why'd you do this? Now I need to run up against the wall to pick up the gun, and I don't even see it until I've played this map several times.
Oh, cool. They should have it on the ground, levitating 2 feet above it, spinning slowly.
And I don't even have to press a button to pick it up.
And it's set to the 6 key. Bob, is there quad damage?
There isn't quad damage.
That's unfortunate.
It's not that I got it. They moved it so you get overshields and stuff. You can hold them and then just activate them later.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat.
Yeah, you have different powers. Like the grappling hook is in that same tier where it's a thing that you can just pop. Like the grappling hook, you have 3 charges on it only. So once you've done those, it's done. And you can't spam it. You got the overshield thing that when I popped that in an engagement, the person just started running away when they were running straight at me. They're like, no, I understand now. You're just going to unload a clip and punch me in the head. And then there's also one that's like a shield that you can drop down. Like it's a more physical one that is shaped in a cone going outward. So you have something like that.
Yeah, it seems neat overall. I'd like to play more of it. It kept showing me in matches that were zone defense and capture the flag, so I didn't get to try just Slayer.
Oh yeah, I didn't get any of those. I played an hour and a half and all they gave me was Slayer.
Good for you.
Yeah, every time he's like, Slayer.
KZ opens a bag of Gardettos and it's nothing but rye chips, baby.
Yeah, so it became that. And a lot of the interior factory map they had in there. So it was a lot of me going, all right, I'm going to jump down here and pick up the gravity hammer. And then just go between a doorway and just wait. I'm like, you're going to fucking walk in here and fucking get your ass opened up.
Yeah, it also kept finding me in one area basically the whole time. It was really, I can't even describe it. I'm like, what was it supposed to be? Maybe it was the factory. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was very just nondescript. I'm hoping the other maps are better, but I can't really speak to that because I didn't get to play much.
I got maybe 3 different maps, and there's a desert-esque city one. There was the mechanized factory one. Then there was green grass military base thing. You're jumping up buildings and going inside some places. So far the map seemed all right.
Yeah, we got the bigger maps are this weekend, right? Big team battle.
Yeah, we got big team battle coming up this weekend for this flight. Yeah, in general, the guns felt pretty good. I even picked up, the one pistol that you charge up. Got a couple of kills off that. Needler felt real good.
Yeah, I saw people posting that the charge pistol was weakened to the point of being worthless.
Huh.
And that's not too surprising from when I used it.
Yeah.
But I saw comparisons oh yeah, the charge pistol is supposed to get off shields or kill people. It's worse at knocking off shields than the regular pistol.
Wait, that doesn't make sense. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that thing seems pretty bad.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But they could balance that because that seems like a really obvious
yeah.
What are you doing?
Right. I mean,
there's not doing its main purpose. You hit them with a fully charged shot, they should be almost dead.
I mean, they should have their shields removed so you can open them up with a shotgun or something else.
Right.
That's kind of the point, or melee.
Yeah. It felt good to get back into that flow of here's my gun. Just hold fire, and then I'm gonna just go at you and punch you in the head, and then you're just gonna immediately die because melee is still pretty solid in this.
Could you imagine if they nerfed melee?
Oh, then this would be a bad video game.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah,
a lot of people do it.
Yeah, no, this felt real good. So
didn't COD do it? Because Modern Warfare used to have one hit kill.
Yeah. Now everything takes 2 melees to kill. And it's so dumb. It's
if you hit me with a physical attack, my bones should shatter.
Yeah, I hope I get to check that out this weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited to play more of it for sure.
I'm at least in it, so I'll just drag the Series X out here.
It's supposed to be open to everybody this weekend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Oh, okay. I don't trust them, but if it's true, then cool. Otherwise, I'll drag my Series X out here.
Cool. Did you play anything else, Bob?
Yeah, I also finished up Kana. That's really good.
Oh, good.
I'm going to go back and like get all the extra collectibles at some point. Just there's too many things right now.
Yeah, are you gonna have time to do that before Far Cry 6 comes out, Bob?
Yeah.
Bob, what's that sound? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Far Cry 6, Jesus.
Yes,
I have like legitimate games I've been looking forward to forever.
Yeah, but that's a legitimate game.
Let's play this next entry in the series that I've never been able to finish a single entry in.
Yeah, but this is gonna be the one.
Yeah, maybe this is the one, Bob. Maybe this is the one.
You're the new guapo in town.
Guapo means handsome. Translator's note.
I'm Aquaman. You can call me handsome guy.
You can call me handsome.
You can call me guapo.
Hey, Bob.
Guapo Nino.
What is coming out for you in the next... Oh, right. Metroid Dread comes out 2 days after Far Cry 6.
Yeah, I'm like, it's really hard to care about Metroid or about Far Cry with that there. I also just had Melty Blood come out.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, we need to play that.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
We need to play that while I install a new capture card. You know, I forgot to go over the part where our capture card died.
Jesus.
Yeah, I walk out here and everything's off, and I'm like, did something explode? Because your computer shouldn't be off. And you're like, don't say it like that.
No. What you actually said is everything going well? And I'm like, that's not the tone I want to hear that in if it isn't. You came off as like Al Bundy, disingenuously asking a customer a question to set them up for an insult.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, answer me.
But yeah, a $300 capture card died this week. Longest we've ever used a capture card in GigaBoots history, and
Yeah, it just did it between streams, so them setting up.
it literally did it. It literally did it in the 36 hours in between streams.
Magic.
That's better than it happening in the middle of a stream.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I'm kind of like Batman. I have multiple backups. So we used one of our 2 bad quality backups for the stream because it was just going to be used for a face cam. The good quality backup is installed in Bob's computer, so I can uninstall it from that and install it as. And we'll keep this one around in case we need to do analog capture someday because I think it's just the HDMI that's fried. I don't think any of the analog stuff was harmed. I'll have to check, though. So we're all good. But God damn it.
But very angry.
We're all good, but seething and pissed. Yeah, I forgot to bring that up.
Yeah.
So other than Metroid Dread, is there anything else coming out in the next week and a half you're looking forward to, Bob?
I know there is, but I can't pull it off to the top of my head. It's real bad. There's just I was hit with like 10 things. I'm still playing Tales of Arise.
How long did Kenna take you?
Bob, it's not that long. But I don't have a good number on it all because I was real bad about pausing it, wandering off to do something.
Well, Bob, do the thing everyone did for Metroid Samus Returns. Just enter the number on the file screen. That won't lead some YouTubers into thinking this 13-hour plus game is definitely 11. The fucked up part is we beat it according to the file in 10 and a half. But it took 13 and a half hours to beat it.
Yeah.
Also, 2 more things coming out next week are Alan Wake Remastered and Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania.
Oh, God.
Cool. At least I don't have a personal attachment to those 2.
And also probably the last Smash character.
Oh, yeah, that is the 5th.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Fucking the 5th. Fuck.
See, when Bob said the worst option is it being a new a 4th Mii fighter, I was like, no, that makes no sense. And then I thought about how they could pitch it as being like, I could just see not Sakura, like the voice they dub over Sakurai being like, you could say we've added infinite new fighters by adding this new character.
Yeah, because we've
I start to turn to stone.
We got like an alchemist.
As he's saying this, it just fades in Rich Evans on the couch.
Yes.
And then
it would come with like 3 costumes.
Yeah, but the important thing is that their next segment they pick like the 7 most wanted reps and make them Mii fighter and like, here, you want this? And they're like, we're done. Smash will be burnt to the ground.
It's been a good ride.
Yeah.
If they ever do a 4K console, it better fucking get an update.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Damn it.
That game is one of the most deserving of a resolution buff of any game genre ever. This is like, I'm going to zoom the camera out a shitload. You're all small. And I'm like, man, that would look great in 4K. Anyways. Hey, KZ.
Yeah.
I think that's all Bob played.
Oh, I didn't even talk about Melty Blood at all.
I'm giving Bob a look, and he's giving me the look back.
Yeah.
Okay, Bob. Talk about Saber.
Saber is in this video game. People seem upset.
The intro logos are narrated by different characters. When Saber does it and gets to French bread, she sounds like she has it in her mouth. She goes, French bread.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good stuff. I think you need to pay to get that. I think you need to pay for her announcer voice, which is like $3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, this is a really cool old school 2D fighter. That's when people say anime fighter, this is like what they mean. You have like 3 air dashes, an instant guard that does ridiculous amounts of stuff. Like you can instant guard and then teleport behind the guy, and they can do that back to you, and that can repeat indefinitely.
Yeah. You can do your you can go into your like super mode where it's like, yeah, you get another jump and another dash now.
Yeah, there's also every button can be mashed to do a combo automatically.
Yeah.
So it's they tried a lot of things to make it easy to pick up. I'm usually not a fan of those systems, so I'll see how much I like it in this, but I think the rest of the weird things in it make it worthwhile.
The fact that you can charge your moon meter by doing a key charge from Dragon Ball, but it makes your health go down when you're doing it.
Yeah, there's a real strong appeal to me about Melty Blood with the characters. People complain about them looking too plain, but I think it's the best thing in the world to have Cheeky Tono there. It's just like, hi, I am harem protagonist from animes in the aughts. Oh, wait, I have a knife. It's very strong. There's nothing quite like it.
Can you describe the culprit? I think it was a loaf of Wonder Bread. I don't even... It just pulled the knife on me. Everything went so fast.
A Japanese schoolboy with dark hair is 5'7".
I think it was Plank from Ed, Edd, and Eddie.
See, things have gotten so much worse since then that I'm like, no, he's not a generic harem protagonist. He doesn't have that one haircut that I hate.
It's
slightly different.
One. I was speaking from when he was invented.
Right.
When I first
I know. I'm just saying that things have gotten so much worse. I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't have that weird haircut that has like the wings.
God,
it's like all.
Why did they all do it? So Melty Blood's pretty all right?
Yeah, I'm liking it a lot. The online play seems good.
Yeah.
I'm playing on PlayStation. I hear PC is busted right now, but you know.
Whoa.
It's a PC.
Oh, you bought a piece.
Yeah.
Brave.
I feel like even wait one day.
Yeah,
That's
you gotta download more RAM.
I keep downloading all this RAM, but none of it's working. Computer covered in viruses.
Also, this game is only like 2 gigabytes, which is very funny.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's the best.
Holy shit.
I really hope they do DLC. This not having Neko arc is really bad. I don't know what they were thinking.
Whatever, they got Saber.
They have Saber. That's very funny.
They also have the non-Neko version.
Yes, they have 2 versions of arc, not as a Neko.
Yes.
It's very strong. I wish that it was just Saber as an Echo. That would have been hilarious. Because then there were yellow leaks early about, oh yeah, Saber's in the game, and then they announce, or then they show up, and it's that, and I would die.
God. Apparently, like the entire staff loves Saber, and when they were gonna do this new fighting game for Type Moon, they made Saber first. That was the test character.
That's really funny. I'm glad that they were able to do it. I think that Saber is a neat character. I'm okay with not having some of the old cast to get that. I'm honestly more like, who are these guys to the ones who are new, but I guess from Tsukihime?
Yeah.
The new Tsukihime, I think.
Yeah,
and not the classic stuff.
which we which we might get someday when people can figure out how localization works because the writer is one of those insane Japanese boomers.
Yeah, because he's like, I want it on everything and in all the languages.
Yeah, so hopefully sometime.
It's not even that, Casey. He's just full of shit. Because every single localizer under the sun has gone to them in the past decade, and he just has some insane, unreasonable request for all of them.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Where it's like,
I was just basing things on what he said in the last week, so...
yeah, that's why people got mad at it, because it's like, this motherfucker. Like, the quotes are full of people who work for companies that contacted them.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, because that's funny, because the only post I saw was some random person on Twitter going, I don't know, I know Japanese, I've been reading this, so you could probably knock this out in a few weeks. And it's like, excuse me?
Like, keep in mind, this fucking, like, he's like, there's not really the resource, and like, you make like the second most profitable game in the world. Shut up.
no, I can't do it.
It's so hard.
This would be like if Tim Sweeney came on Twitter and was like, we don't have the resources to translate Fortnite into Spanish.
God. Oh yeah, I did go through the story mode for one character.
Oh.
It's literally just dialogue at the beginning of the 8 stages you play, then one again in the middle, and then one at the end in one new picture.
Ooh.
So it's very traditional fighting game story mode, which I'm fine with. I honestly I like the real simplistic ones like that. Load times are insanely good. I can skip the little match screen where it shows the two characters next to each other immediately.
Yeah,
and skip into the round, skip all the opening dialogue even, and you just like, yeah, let's just start the fight.
And it's not even a bespoke PS5 version, it's just back compat.
Yeah.
Too bad we couldn't get 120 frames per second. I need to see that in a fucking fighting game already.
Yeah, I know.
I guess. I wonder if Sam shows on Game Pass.
Maybe.
Because the Series X can play Sam Show at 120 now.
Right.
I need to see that shit.
Yeah, maybe the first 120 frames fighting game we'll get is King of Fighters 15.
Oh, that would be good. That'd be real good.
That'd be very good, yeah.
King of Flyers.
King of Flyers.
But that's all I played. Oh, right. One more thing was Melty Blood. They made I can do a rank match by hitting the ranked match button.
Yeah.
And then it just searches for people.
What?
And then I fight them. I
Whoa.
don't have to wander around some awful lobby.
Oh,
You mean
That lobby shit is the funniest where we saw it. A picture of the lobby. And they're like, oh, you got to move around, right? No, it's a visual thing, so you can look at that while you're in a list doing matches.
That's kind of what I assumed it was. Hey, does it have to sync with the server 45 times when you go to the main menu?
No. No,
Wow.
I can hit the network button, then it syncs with the server.
Oh, so you can, like, not need to connect to go to training mode.
Yeah. What are you doing, Arceus? Come on. Get up on the Melty Blood level.
Why are you asking them? Once again, they don't fucking know.
Yeah.
They should take the Harada approach and say, we just don't have the marketing budget of Melty Blood.
I really hope this game does well. I would love to see them just continue to support this. Like, if this becomes their best-selling game ever, that'd be great.
So not the biggest fan of A Night in Birth over here.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of Melty Blood. You need to get that shit on my PS5 ASAP.
Sure.
God. Is that it, Bob?
Yeah, that's it.
Yo. KZ. What you been playing, my man?
The Castlevania Advance Collection came out.
God, we didn't talk about that.
Really? I didn't know that at all, KZ.
Oh, okay. Well, I played through all of Circle of the Moon.
Which Castlevanias are these again?
This is Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance,
Yeah.
Aria of Sorrow.
Great games, all three of them.
And that's all the ones that are relevant to be talking about. So I played all of Circle of the Moon, which I have not done in maybe like 10 years or something. I still really enjoy that one. It feels like a nice translation of that gameplay style to the GBA for that first run. I like that DSS system where enemies drop cards. You can mix the cards, do cool combos, change your weapon up with them. Maybe do some degenerate shit like a boss shoots a bunch of poison balls, but if you put on your poison fart gas thing, you cannot take any damage that entire fight.
It's pretty good.
aside from like one attack. Still pretty enjoyable. It still has that bad thing that's in Symphony of we have a bunch of warps, so you just have to keep hitting up until it eventually takes you to the one it's deigned you're going to, instead of hitting up and selecting which one on the map.
Casey, it's not that hard. Just memorize that. One way from the save room, you need to hit it 3 times, and on the way back, you need to hit it 5 times.
Also, the way save points are designated on the map in Circle of the Moon are pretty bad.
Designated or distributed?
Distributed.
Okay.
Distributed.
I was like, designated would be like what color the icon is, but yeah, the distribution of save rooms in Circle of the Moon is infamously terrible.
Where it's like, okay, here's the one toward the Camila boss fight. You have to go through like 2 rooms and they're filled with enemies, so you'll probably die. But thankfully, this has rewinds and shit. And I'm like, no, you're not taking those away from me.
Yeah, you have to dig through like 5 or 6 squares of bullshit just to get to Camilla.
Yeah, it's really it's pretty annoying with some of that, but I still enjoyed it. And then I moved on to Harmony of Dissonance, which immediately has this great upgrading game feel in almost every area except jumping, where you have more of a moon jump in that.
Yeah.
That took some getting used to.
Yeah, it's got a Super Metroid jump.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And then you start you're just able to mash L and R to dash left and right, which just feels good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because you're no longer in a mode where to go fast, you have to double tap a direction to start running.
And then if you change directions, you have to do it again.
Yes. So that immediately felt pretty good. You get the different like whip types, like you can add on to it. But there's some things in it that bother me, like when you pause, the music dies out, and they show you a menu that looks significantly worse than the one from the previous game, where it's just this blue on everything that just kind of looks weird. Also, the map is terrible, like in every aspect, where they're like we've split the castle into 2 versions, Castle A and Castle B, and I'm like, oh, this is an interesting way of not making it so you do the entire castle, then do the entire castle again. And then they're like, to do this, we made the map terrible for both of them.
Yep.
Toward the end, where I'm like, I don't know where to get this last item. It's over there. It's going to take me 15 minutes to travel across the whole thing, because some warps aren't warps. They're just changed to the other version of this room. So it kind of just makes running around this insanely boring.
What if I told you? That might be the Castlevania game where hitting up changes which castle you're in and hitting down teleports you between them. One of these games does that, I think. And I think it's that one, but I don't know.
Yeah,
all I know is, even if that was the case, reaching a specific room in Castle B can oftentimes mean not going anywhere near there in Castle B, going to Castle A, and traveling a huge distance to open the door, and then changing castles and walking one room.
Yeah, because they constantly will put doors you can't open in Castle A. So I kept running across it. I'm like, it's right here, and they're like, you can't open that. You need to do this in the annoying method. Because I had never finished this one, so I didn't know toward the end that you need to collect all of the Dracula body parts to open the final boss door. And I was like, I'm so fucking bored of your game at this point. Like, you've really kind of like burned all of the goodwill in the last like 2 hours.
Yeah, because they made you start engaging with 2 castles at once.
Yes.
And the way you do that in that game sucks so bad.
Yeah.
Excited to get your platinum, Dan?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
At no point will my fervor for platinum these games ever die down.
Never.
Not even once. They want 100 souls on fucking Aria of Sorrow, and I'm jazzed to do it. Tsuchinoko, here I come.
Yeah, I came out of that one vastly preferring Circle of the Moon, just because of, just in general, it feels more normal. It feels like a sober Gigavania compared to the things that Harmony ends up doing. And then I played a little bit of Aria of Sorrow. I'm about maybe a third through that, and that's clearly the best one of those almost immediately. Just everything about it. I was like, maybe I'll get every soul. Then I did the Peeping Eye one, and after 20 minutes trying to get that one and getting it, going, no, I won't. I will not do that. because I'm killing one every 6 seconds, and it took me 20 minutes to get that soul. And then I look online, someone's like, yeah, it took me 3 days just to get that one.
Huh.
And I'm like, I gotta go.
Huh.
Yeah, because some people are like, sometimes you get fucked in that. But overall, I'm really enjoying that one. It feels a lot better, though. It's hard getting used to the fact that it's like technically the slowest character between the three of them.
Relative to screen space, yes.
Yeah, relative to like screen space, yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, you're not cracked out insane on that one.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like every enemy's smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a skeleton is about half the size it was in Harmony.
Oh yeah, totally. But yeah, I'm really enjoying those. That's the Castlevania block that I did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I finished Lost Judgment this week. Yeah, that's fantastic. It's definitely up there in my thoughts for Game of the Year coming up. It fixed every single problem I had with the original Judgment entirely. That new fighting style added so much more with all the counters and stuff that it can do. The fact that I ended that game and went, yeah, the only tailing mission in the main story is the tutorial. And the only time I lockpicked in the main story was 2 times. Just in general, they cut out stuff that people didn't think was the best shit ever, it feels like, and that led to the main story being a lot leaner. This story is 18 times more insane than the first one was, which was a fairly basic mystery murder thing. This one, every time you figure something out, they add a new layer, and there's about 15 layers to that thing going on. And each time I'm like, yeah, this is really great. It goes some places. And then the music and everything about the last hour and a half of that game is probably the best stuff they've ever done. It's like really, really strong. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with that. And they just keep setting the bar up higher and higher. And now they have all the fun extra modes where you can refight all the bosses with restrictions and other stuff, which is pretty nice. But yeah, that's Lost Judgment. What else did I do? I did too many things this week. All right, so I played two games for Deathstream related things. I played Looney Tunes Back in Action for the PS2. This is the movie game they made.
Is Brendan Fraser in it?
No, it is not. The best part about this is how clear it is that the production on that movie was such a nightmare, and it's been well documented, even down to the director saying it was the worst time of his entire life was working on that movie because the executives kept trying to ruin it.
Oh.
Every step of the way, saying, rewrite jokes. They're like, do you know how animation works? We already drew them doing that joke. And a bunch of yeah.
God.
Patton Oswalt has a bit where he talks about working on Over the Hedge as a punch-up writer. And it was like, no, we made all the animation. You can't change that. You need to come up with jokes we can yell over the unfunny action.
Oh. That's dire.
So I start this game, and it does some bit about Daffy Duck trying to be a Batman analog in a movie called Duck Danger, and they're like, I don't know if this will work out. And then the CEO of Warner Brothers unzips himself to reveal that he is a small man who's really the long lost CEO of Acme, who's angry, saying, all your cartoons make Acme look like we make bad products and gave us a bad name, so I'm going to use this diamond to turn everyone into monkeys.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, so you're going on a journey chasing after one of the monkeys that has a funny hat and the diamond, and you're chasing it across the worlds in the game. You play as Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck in a 3D platformer collectathon thing. And yeah, it's your basic premise. This is probably the best one of these that I played recently. It has some stuff that, man, a lot of those other ones that had multiple playable characters could probably have found useful. One, there's a button to switch between the characters, and they save the place they were at on the map. So I move Daffy over here, and it's like, oh, there's a button for bugs. I'll just hit a button, and then it swaps me to them, and then I can run up. But every checkpoint, if you hit it with your weapon, which is like a hammer or a frying pan, depending on the character, a box falls with the other character in it. So when you hit a section that needs both of them, you just hit the checkpoint, and they're right there, and you can quickly swap and get through it. Or this platforming challenge is bad. I fell all the way down. I'll just switch to the other character who's still up there. And I've lost 0 progress because then I'll hit the checkpoint again and bring back the one that fell. There's a lot of really smart design here for if you wanted to use multiple characters. There's no life system at all. Checkpointing for the most part was really, really good. Your collectibles in this are monkeys, which is insane.
Yeah.
I don't think I necessarily needed that. But it's your usual thing. You can pick up a bunch of coins to buy costumes at a costume vendor to do certain challenges. You can buy monkeys off Foglorn Leghorn. He's like, I'm trying to sell you this monkey. And then I give him $1,500.
Does that mean Foghorn Leghorn's?
We're not going to look into that.
Okay.
I would not think about that any more than we have to.
It's just him calling me stupid, saying I'm trying to. He's like, I'm trying to buy. Sell this monkey.
I mean,
you want it?
Not going to think about it.
Yeah, I was like, that fits that stereotyping, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and ignore anything you guys are talking about. You travel across different countries and stuff. Pepe Le Pew showed up, and my entire call was just like, kill him, fuck him up. He's up to no good. And I'm like, no, he's a very nice detective in this or something at an art museum.
Yeah, he's Scirocco. He just shows up.
Damn it. He's like the reverse Scirocco, generally speaking.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Like, he tries to do the gaze, and it just doesn't have any effect.
It does nothing.
If anyone wants to draw a Paptimus Pepe Le Pew,
Pepe-timus.
that would be pretty solid.
Oh, hey, never mind. He's not the anti-Scirocco. Both are predators. Now then.
All right, thank you. But I went through.
Have you ever,
What's up?
I'm just thinking about how they cut the only even conceivably funny joke from Space Jam 2, which is LeBron teaching Pepe Le Pew about consent.
Yeah, no, that's hilarious. That should have happened.
Yeah.
Instead 2 hours of mush.
Yes.
KZ.
Yes.
When they turn all the characters into monkeys,
Yeah.
does it not affect like iconic Warner Brothers characters, like Looney Tunes characters, or is...
It does later.
Okay.
It does later, where at the end of the game, like, they activate the machine to get everyone, and then they just show like Porky Pig morphing into a monkey, and it's horrible.
So one of the segments I caught of your stream was Wile E. Coyote running after the Roadrunner.
Yes.
Which doesn't make sense. It's Wile E. Coyote. He's not going to catch up. But anyways, he's running after it or whatever. He catches the Roadrunner, and then the Roadrunner turns into a monkey.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a funny bit if he never catches them, so clearly this was fake. That's their conceit, because what you do is in every level there are 7 bird seed icons with Roadrunner's face on them, and if you collect all of them, you get to do a bonus mini game from the world map for each level. That is, you get on a rocket as Wile E. Coyote, and you have to navigate to them, and then there's a bunch of oncoming traffic, and you have to dodge it while it keeps getting faster. And you essentially have to survive it for however long it is, and it gets progressively longer for each one. And I was like, in concept, this is good, but if you get hit once, your speed slows down, and you can accidentally get hit 3 times in 4 seconds.
Yeah, because of the way it's set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very that tier of game core.
Yeah.
The other part I tuned in for, and this was the first part I tuned into your stream for.
Yeah.
I turn on KZ stream. He's platforming on logs, okay? And KZ, as Bugs Bunny, gets hit. And this is not even 6 seconds into me watching. Bugs Bunny gets hit and goes, I'm a lumberjack, but I'm okay. And I'm like, you can't just quote Monty. Oh, fuck this. Just turned it off immediately.
Okay, so this game is Gex 4.
It really is.
Because characters say shit every 6 seconds, and they also queue them up. So sometimes you'll get like 3 or 4 in a row where it's like, I was meant to play this 20 seconds ago. And I'm like, this is hilarious. Because my chat's like, God, shut the fuck up, Daffy Duck. And it's like, no, this is Daffy Duck. Let him speak his truth. I like how the hardest puzzle in the game for me was you need to see people are getting boiled and getting cooked or something in like a big pot. There's like 4 of them. And you have to, there's one in the center of the room, and there's one in a room with puzzles to the right and a room with puzzles to the left. One you have to do with Daffy, one you do with Bugs. And I'm like, this is really hard because you have to go into the right, do all this stuff right, get out, then go to the left and do it. And then someone in the call says, what if you just, when you finish the right side, you hit that button to swap to Bugs who's outside that room? And I went, oh my God, I'm playing this like bad platformers where it's like there's no convenient out here. But it turns out there are loads of them that make this game easier. Where it's like, yeah, we accounted for this. You can just teleport 3 rooms away and the game remembers it. It totally understands that. And I was having a decent time. There's like 40 of these monkeys in the entire game. They're like your power stars, your jiggies. You're in the last stage. They reach a door with a button and then they go, you need 35. Go back and get more. And I went, excuse me? You want 35 of the 40 total collectibles? So I had to backtrack and get 10, which was kind of a pain in the ass. If it was 30, I would have had to backtrack for maybe 25 minutes, maybe 30. But then the other ones, it became a bit more of a problem. But some of them were fun, where it's like, oh, you gotta fucking Tweety Bird's getting eaten by Sylvester in every level, and you have to bonk fucking Sylvester in the head 3 times, and then you get a monkey out of it, which went capped off really well when the end of that game is Tweety Bird turns into a kaiju, and then you do a punch-out fight against a giant stone monkey.
Oh.
And the bad punch-out is just mash up on the right stick a bunch, and it totally can't fight back. It's like every time it looks like it's about to punch, you can immediately hit it.
So I'm looking at the devs of this.
Uh-huh.
They made an Xbox exclusive Looney Tunes fighting game that's a clone of Power Stone.
Yeah, the developer for this is Warthog.
It's called Loons Fight for Fame.
That's pretty good.
They also apparently made 2 Animaniacs. No, they made a Animaniacs game using basically the same engine as this.
Ah, okay. But yeah, if they cut the amount that you need to finish the game to like 30, maybe just add more of them so it's even easier, then I would say this is fairly solid, especially for the time. It has a lot more things where they clearly thought out how to make it fun for people in terms of like dealing with the objectives and stuff. So I came out of it like going, yeah, this is fine, I guess. I also play Resident Evil Dead Aim for the PS2. This is a light gun Resident Evil game that was made in 2003, and might have one of the worst translations I've ever played in recent memory. And is also one of the funniest games I've played in recent memory. In this game, you play as the character Bruce McGivern, as it says in the pause menu. You flip over the back of the box that says you play as Bruce McGavin. Every subtitle in this game does not match what they say.
Yeah, it's
we
rough.
found maybe 2 or 3 lines that are actually accurate. You start on this giant like cruise liner ship. You're going and you're dealing with zombies. It runs and plays exactly like every Resident Evil game does. But when you pull out your gun, it turns into the first person light gun mode. And then if you move, it takes you out of it. So it's like you enter that gun mode, you move the right stick to like aim, and then you fire off rounds. It's got a really nice atmosphere at the start where it's like a nice like they're trying to hit and nail the horror vibe for it, and it seems pretty solid. Then I hit my first save room, which has really nice music in it, and I notice, oh yeah, there's seemingly just infinite handgun ammo in every single save point. There's like, you're not going to run out of ammo in this game at all.
In the statue of Solaire.
Yes. Yeah, and there's a statue of Solaire there. And then I get my Link crossbow later in the game. You run into another like agent that's working on this case involving the various Resident Evil viruses. This woman is Chinese, voiced by a white woman, doing a racist accent. It's pretty rough. You finish the game and try to have a romantic moment with her. The subs say, I can't move to America or anything. China is my home. Or as the voice actor said, I belong to China.
Yeah, she said, I belong to China.
Yeah, it is incredibly aggressive.
And that was the thing that really hit me, was when the credits reveal it's not someone seemingly who's native Chinese. And then that cutscene happens. That was the part that really made it hit.
Yeah, there's like this moment where China's like bowing out of this like situation due to the plot. So what they're like is, we put a microchip in all of our soldiers that have it and put a tattoo over it. We're now going to have our satellite cannon lock on and shoot her with an orbital laser.
Yeah, that's how you get rid of the evidence. You vaporize it from space.
Yes. The villain in this is hilarious. His name is Morpheus. He starts the game by being owned in the very first cutscene by a grenade. So he is like half dead from the start, is in a control room, and it infects himself with both Resident Evil viruses at the time. So he has both the T and G virus running through him. This gives him boobies and skin high heels, and spends the rest of the game doing weird flips, like front overhead fighting game flips.
Yeah, they try to like head scissor you is like their main move. Like they do cartwheels towards you. Here's what they look like, by the way, because Casey's description doesn't quite do it justice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It comes at you and has electricity going around them the entire time, which, as they describe it, makes them entirely immune to all forms of bullets. So it's just an invincible super tyrant until you get an anti-material rifle that can shoot through it, that you can use for a boss fight against them. You also fight various other things, like a really big fat tyrant looking thing that waddles at you but can't see, and that's really funny. Another big tyrant that's only way it's exposes in its back. It's got all the Resident Evil things you need in a game that you can finish in 2.5 hours. All the cutscenes are hilarious. The rigging and the model on your main character is so broken that every scene, if you just focus at his neck, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Where it's some weird like Gumby shit where it's 4 feet long.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
And it's constantly just snapping.
I have to wonder if this game was made with like the detritus of the 45 failed versions of RE4. Because like the running animation as the guy runs holding his pistol looks almost exactly like Leon in RE4.
And it was easier to get adjusted to because you don't have to press a button to do that. That's just the natural speed. And then you just kind of hold a button to do like cautious walking, which you only need to do for the boss fight where the enemy's blind. Because if it can't hear your footsteps, you can get really far away and equip the silencer and just shoot him in the head a bunch. But yeah, this was a lot better than I was expecting. The only reason I found it to be rough in the end is the final boss is a flesh wall that moves toward you. And since it's a light gun game, it only has one weakness, that it's a head that pops in and out. And if you don't do it fast enough, it just crushes you. Which, since I was not using the Gun Con 2, was a little bit harder. Oh, also, the worst part about the game, if you use an assault rifle, every gunshot makes flashes a white effect on the entire screen. So whenever I'm holding fire on the assault rifle, I can't see. Like it's more aggressive than shit like that Alone in the Dark movie. where it's like, I can't see shit.
Yeah, I guess that's just because of the nature of how light guns work.
Yeah. It really just made it just unnerving where I'm like, all right, guys, look away. I'm about to glass them. So I tended to stick toward the other weapon types just to avoid having to do that. They also do like constant character switching based on the plot. And I feel like if you flesh this out to being like a longer game and doing some other stuff, I feel like this could have been like pretty solid, strengthened only by the fact the story is really, really terrible. In how every cutscene is just a hilarious comedy thing happening. where it's like, what is happening? What are you doing? But yeah, that was those two games. I feel a lot better having played them than I have many other things that I've had to do death streams and various things on. But I think that's it. Yeah, I didn't play much of Melty Blood aside from that tutorial where they're like, look at the health bar. Okay, you did it.
Master Tono, look up. Now look down.
Master Tono, that's a match time. When it runs out, the match is over. Clear. All right.
All right.
Now jump.
Bob and I forgot to talk about a game.
Oh.
So we played the Castlevania Advance Collection. We played ActRaiser Renaissance.
Oh, yeah. We only did like 40 minutes of that.
Yeah, we played 40 minutes of it. The first 40 minutes is really chock full of tutorials once you get past the first level. The first level has a well-documented issue where the camera runs at 50 frames per second, even though the game's 60.
Yeah, I also did like the first like hour 10, hour 20 of that.
They tried to build out the strategy sim mode aspect of it way more than I felt like they needed to, but it does make it a longer game. It's weird.
It has characters in it now. Like a dude shows up in Fillmore that's like a Chad dumb knight guy.
Yeah,
And he's like, let me tell you about the tutorials.
and my washboard abs.
Yeah, you can like have him like move into certain places to fight off things when the horde mode starts or the tower defense-esque thing.
Yeah.
I've seen footage where it's like you're gonna get 2 of those in like one town, so it's like the strategy does get fleshed out a bit more.
Yeah, it's just weird because I felt like it was a very elegant balance before. You know, even then the side-scrolling action stuff wasn't half. Now it's even smaller percent of this game. It's gonna end up at like 5% of the actual game time.
You'd think that they'd be like, okay, here's a mode for, and we don't go ham on this part.
That's
just
really that's the only thing I want.
Yeah,
I
like
just
an
want
optimized mode.
like, hey, can you just do the thing where I build a civilization and shoot demons with my arrows and then do the action? Because I'm worried at some point I may get tired of all the wave-based tower defense sort of thing.
Yeah, it looked a little rough.
That's all I'm worried about. Like, it seems fine so far, but I really don't like that you've added a third gameplay type, technically, that is removing even more time in the action levels. Though they do add action levels when you seal monsters' lairs. But even still, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did the math and it's like, yeah, that ends up being like 6% of the game now, the action.
Yeah, I wonder what the split is, because I could see them. Already, that first intro level's way longer than it was in the original.
It's a little bit longer, yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that the boss is way longer, which I don't know why.
Yeah, no, they changed how that boss worked.
I don't know why they could quadrupled the health of this guy.
Well, at least they gave you a proper way to get out of his hit range that wasn't just space perfectly.
Yes, I was playing it like the original, and I was going, oh, wait, no, they're not insane.
Oh, wait, there's a platform right there. Yeah, I hear the areas in it start to get better as it goes along, but right now I am cautiously optimistic. That is my stance so far on ActRaiser Renaissance. They added some quality of life features of the Castlevania Advance Collection I want to talk about real quick. They show on the side when an enemy you hit in Circle of the Moon has a DSS card.
Yeah.
That's a fucking lifesaver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time in Aria, when you hit an enemy, it says, you hit that enemy, and it's grayed out if you haven't gotten the soul yet.
Yes, so it does that and that. When you enter a room that has an important item in Harmony, it will have a question mark in the corner until you grab it.
It's actually that entire zone.
Yeah, it's chunks of rooms, yeah.
Yeah, so later when it's you're collecting furniture and a key item, they make sure to put a purple outline for key items, and for the furniture, it's just a regular question mark. Some of those you're just going to see like 5 icons, because they're like, there's 2 chairs and a chandelier in here.
Yeah, that's just really nice for 100%ing the game.
Yeah.
Also, when you rewind, it does re-roll drops. So if you have a total pain in the ass enemy you keep killing,
Yep.
you can just keep rewinding to the point of death.
Yep.
I wonder how you're going to deal with the Tsushinoko.
What? No, I'm doing that legit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing that legit for sure. There's no way I would choose the Tsushinoko.
He's so balanced. It's so fun.
But those two came out. That was very exciting in the middle of Sly and Metroid month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of, I was like, if I don't play these now, I'll never play them ever.
See, I just have to sit here and go, we can't do the Platinum stream yet. but I did get all the trophies in Dracula XX, and I did do the normal run on Circle of the Moon, meaning there's only one trophy left there, which is to beat it on Magician.
That's all. Well, you also need to get every card.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I do need to get every card, which isn't too bad now that you can rewind. Anyway, that's all we missed. That collection's great. And looking at the artwork and that fidelity is incredible. The gallery they have.
Oh, yeah. They have just
Yeah.
production art and ad art from all of those. It's really great.
They have the box. They have the manual. They've got so much. They have character concept art. It's incredible. It looks great. I don't know why the boot up screen is the way it is. We talked about that last week, though.
Yep.
And the last thing I was going to go over, I think this may be the sharpest way to play these games if you get it on like a PS5 or a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
Because it seemingly scales sharply all the way up to 4K, which means it's better than a Mister.
That's kind of crazy.
It's nuts. It's so fucking sharp looking.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I'm really glad they made this. Now go make the DS ones. Anyways, hey, Phil, what have you been playing?
I started streaming Final Fantasy VIII. I really like Final Fantasy VIII. I've started to show people all the freak things you can do in that game. Like you get the ability to turn enemies into cards. That gives you skill points, but it doesn't give you experience. So it's very good because you don't want to level up in Final Fantasy VIII ever.
What?
Because everything scales up in Final Fantasy VIII. All the enemies scale with your level.
Oh my god.
Final Fantasy VIII is a fucked up game, Bob.
Yeah, apparently.
It's not that you don't want to level. It's not that you don't want to level up, but you want to wait until you get your summons, which are called your GFs.
Yes.
Which leads to very funny dialogue boxes. But a lot of them have abilities. A lot of them have abilities that are like, okay, you get one stat point in this stat when you level up. So you want to not level up until you have as many of those as possible, and can sicko mode all your characters. You don't have to do that even to beat the hardest content in the game. You don't even have to do close to that to beat the hardest content in the game. But it's there if you're a freak.
But I'm a genetic freak and I'm doing it.
I'm not doing that. That's a little bit much. But there's like a lot of stuff that lunatics do. Like there's a little bit where Cypher's in your party. It's like, okay, I'm gonna kill the other two people, and it doesn't matter if Cypher gets big and strong because he never appears again. So I'll just grind all the summons up to level 99 while he's here.
Oh my god.
And it's like, okay, if you do this, you change the card rules, so you get like 3 or 4 cards per win instead of 1, and that really speeds things up when you want to atomize the game. I'm not doing that much though. I'm just showing people how you can, destroy the game. Like getting 250 skill points from the spider robot in the first set piece of the game, which you can do. You can also blow it up. A lot of people don't know that you can outright destroy that robot and ruin the set piece and not get a cool cutscene. It's not even hard. You just have to beat on it for 25,000 damage, which is 25 times as much damage as you have to do to be able to run away from it, but is entirely possible if you try.
I do like when they actually let you do it.
Other Final Fantasy things. I got back into Final Fantasy XIV and got past the bad part of that game. I don't know what they should do, but they should do something. It's unreal how much it's like, okay, we no longer have to make something acceptable from the corpse of this previous project. Now we can actually make things that are good at all. Because for years, I was like, there's all the characters in Final Fantasy XIV are great. They're so well fleshed out and have such rich personalities. And I'm like, they barely exist in the first chunk of the game, in A Realm Reborn.
How many hours is it to get past that? I'm curious. How many did it take you?
Probably somewhere in the ballpark of 25 to 30. Yeah, it's rough.
What we're trying to say, Bob, is that the game only really gets good 25 to 30 hours.
Yeah, I know. This is like some fucked up. Yeah, the show gets good in season 4. Shit.
Oh.
God. I'm just like, but if I ever heard someone say that.
At least once you beat the final boss of A Realm Reborn, it immediately gets better, even before the first expansion, because there was patch updates where it's like, okay, here's this patch, you get like 15 quests and maybe like a new boss or something, new dungeon or something.
Yeah.
Those are immediately so much better.
Yeah, because that's
like, oh,
that's the new stuff they made.
It's like, oh, the characters are doing things now, and there's like interesting machinations and things have nuance, and there's a song that they stole from Nightmare Before Christmas, and there's
It's glorious.
and I'm like, wow, this is a lot of fun. I know that they cut a lot of shit out of A Realm Reborn to make it faster. They should cut more out. There's a quest line, Bob, in A Realm Reborn. And it doesn't matter if I say what it is because all the content is bad, so it doesn't matter. You can't be spoiled. Where it's like, the kobolds resurrected, the kobolds summoned Titan. We have to deal with Titan. We have to go talk to the company of heroes who defeated Titan 5 years ago in Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. And it's like, well, we don't know who you are, Warrior of Light. You have to set up this party we're hosting before we can tell you how to defeat Titan.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So you spend like 3.5 hours, 3 to 4 hours doing random bullshit fetch quests, and also going to a dungeon full of dinosaurs to get cheese. Which is the only funny and acceptable part of that, because that dungeon's pretty fun.
Yes.
But then you set up the party and they're like, actually, Warrior of the Light, the party was for you. We had to make sure you were tough enough and we all had to approve of you. And I'm like, I wish all of you were dead.
You know the best part, Bob?
I don't like any of you.
Across the entire game, that is the part they did the most cuts this year. That shit used to be 7 hours. And was famous as, this is the bad part. You get through this, you can beat anything.
Jesus.
Yeah, once you get through that, the story does pick up a little bit, as in the story starts at all.
Yes.
Like once they start talking about Garuda, it's like the plot has now started.
Yeah, because that first third, I can get down with just from the fact of I'm learning the game, I'm getting introduced to the dungeons, the first like trial, the first boss. Then that middle chunk is rough. But then the last third, I'm like, all right, and then the game just starts climbing upward quality into space.
But now I'm enjoying it. I hung out with Noctis because they're doing the Final Fantasy 15 collab again.
Yeah, you need to get the mount that's the car.
Yeah, I'm trying to get enough points to get the car. Every mount flies, by the way. I didn't fucking know that.
Yes, they said, fuck you, it should fly. People want to fly.
I was like, oh, do I need to buy like this robot mech? Because the mount I've been using is the Fenrir Cloud's bike, because I got it as a veteran award because I paid for the game for 4 years without playing it.
Starting to feel better about the Stadia fiasco.
The fear of every single MMO.
Hey, there's a difference here, Dan. He's supporting a developer. You're supporting evil.
Also, like, I kept going, okay, I'm going to get back into it. Okay, I'm going to get back into it. Okay, I'm going to get back into it. Like, that kept happening.
Mm-hmm.
But then I discovered, no, the Fenrir will just fly.
Yes.
You just jump while you're riding it and it flies now once you hit level 50.
Yeah. There's like a big turtle one, and they're like, what? How does that fly? It spins and exhaust comes out of the holes.
Yeah, they didn't do shit for the Fenrir, though. It just, like, sways slightly and floats.
Sometimes they just don't care.
The wheel should have gone on their side, and then
it should have. That would have been cool. Yeah. I'm glad that it plays the song whenever you're riding it, because I would have just played it in my head anyway.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're pretty smart about playing the actual music from whatever game they're from, or whatever like specific moment, like the Magitech doing the Final Fantasy VI music.
Yeah, there's a lot. Now that my neurons are firing, I'm like, wow, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then
bosses have mechanics now. Like, you fight Leviathan, and Leviathan it's like, I'm gonna smack the boat with my tail, and momentum is gonna throw you towards where I smacked because I tilted the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's neat. The last three dungeons in the main story, I didn't even experience at all because somebody just ran through them, aggroing everything and killing everything instantly, in 45 cutscenes played, which is apparently still better than it used to be.
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't go back and do any of the.
My understanding is that there were so many cutscenes in those last two dungeons because they used to be skippable. The cutscenes are skippable except for those two dungeons now.
Yeah, because people were blitzing through it, and then people couldn't enjoy the story at all.
Yeah. The problem was you'd watch all the cutscenes and you'd be like, where'd the dungeon go? Why am I at the end with the exit portal?
Yeah, I really lucked out where when I went through A Realm Reborn and finished it the first time, I joined a free company, and they're like, "Hey, you doing that?" And they're like, "Let us just take you." I was like, "Oh,
yeah."
Okay,
Now you can't skip the cutscenes, but because there's so many, they had to make it up to players, so it wasn't a nightmare if you got it like on the random dungeon poll. So it's like, yeah, you get a shitload of in-game tokens.
Yeah.
So people have optimized it down to like a solved game.
It really is great.
So you sort of see the dungeon, but you don't really know what's going on because people are flossing on it so hard.
Yeah. The last one's great, where most chats just quote all the lines the main bad guy says just in chat.
They're good lines. He's Richard Epcar. He's great.
Yeah, just everyone's yelling, "Such devastation was not my intention."
Yeah. Putting Richard Epcar in like Garland armor is always a good decision.
Yes, and all of those VAs are erased from history like halfway into those patch quests, as they switch to like some European dub team.
Really?
Yeah, the dub completely changes leading into Heaven's Ward, and it's been the same one since then.
Oh, so that's why
like 16
is like that.
Yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah, like everyone. So it's like suddenly every character sounds different, and for the most part better performed. But it also led to funny stuff like one of the leaders of one of the three main houses in that, Raban, who's this cool Chad looking dude, was voiced in the original dub by the dude who did Rules of Nature. Like,
ooh.
And he was no longer in the dub, but came back because he got picked to do the Shadowbringers vocal theme song. So he got to go back to the exact same game. So that was like really dope. But yeah.
Oh, that means Alphanod's gonna switch from Sam Riegel to somebody else.
Yeah,
that's a shame. Because hearing Sam Riegel try to do like a faux French accent almost was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want to shove you over.
It's like
you're so lame.
Go away, Alphanod. You browse Reddit.
He kind of does. The other thing I played was what's it called? Letters Quest Grimm's Journey Remastered.
What?
And you might say, Phil, what the fuck is that?
An educational video game from the 80s?
No. It is a game. So I was thinking about games a couple days ago.
Video games.
A while ago. Like, man, I liked Bookworm Adventures, which was a game PopCap put out where it was like a spelling RPG, and like this enemy is vulnerable to colors, so spell words related to colors.
Periwinkle.
Yeah, and it was insanely like it had a ridiculously massive dictionary and categorization. So I'm like, has anybody ever ripped that off? Because that seems like a good idea. So I found this game, Letter Quest Remastered. It's not as good. I've still played 8 hours of it and will probably finish it. But it doesn't do as have you ever played a game where it's like, okay, here's our mechanics, and then you go, are you gonna like drip feed me new ones or change anything? No. So it's like you don't really do, like, you get 15 tiles. You can toss them all out and get new ones, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
You can get like minor things like words that end with S do more damage now. Words that have a double consonant in the middle do more damage now. But that's like it. When Bookworm Adventures was like, with if you equip this weapon, words related to metal do more damage, which is much more interesting to me. And I feel like if you had some sort of like Puzzle Quest-esque spells that could affect the board, that would be better, because you don't have any influence on them at all. So it's like, and certain words you're just never going to be able to spell because the whatever algorithm they have to generate your letters will just like never give you 2 Z's, so you can never spell the word like quizzing. It's like, come on, you should give me some letters. Also, it's a mobile game they sold me for $8. Or not a mobile game. It's not a mobile game. I'm sorry, a Flash game they sold me for $8.
Oh, okay.
because like it just has that energy where it's like we don't have any more mechanics and things never really get more difficult, but we have a currency that you have to spend on upgrades to increase your avatar strength so things stay exactly as difficult the whole way through. And that's probably the weirdest thing I'll ever talk about playing on this. You know what time it is?
What time is it?
Time for the Pod Lords.
Fuck, I thought it was Valentine's. Oh, fuck, the Pod Lords!
The Pod Lords.
Oh, fuck, Pod Lords. It's not February?
Oh, fuck. Valentine's is serious times.
What time is it? It's bottle time.
I hate you.
Thank you, Dan.
Yes, that's right. The Pod Lords. Pod Lords such as E. Lee Broyles, Corey Brown. Did you know KZ bobs his head to how I read this? Live action. Live action. Muito Real.
Yeah!
Red Blaze 27. A Cruel Angel's Juicifrost. Suzushiro. Emperor Zero. Shibiagato watching the Nick Smash clone struggle to change their release date.
Yeah, I heard stuff about that.
First creepypasta of October. Actibliz getting away with only a slap on the wrist and everyone forgetting like Bloodschung.
Not really what happened, by the way.
Yeah, that was like one of 3 or 4 lawsuits going on.
Like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
No, Dan, you're pronouncing it like raw cookie dough. But what you need to do is pronounce it like Ray dough. Oh my fucking God! Bob, I've been saying it wrong the whole time.
No, you said Rado every time.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Yeah, okay.
101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered. You fucked up, Nintendo. Talk about a squandered opportunity.
Oh!
It's fucked up. He gets to send in the same image twice.
Yeah, I know. I was like, did we already get this?
It's even better the second time.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, look at that.
Fucking Gary Busey as Mario would have killed me.
Mario.
WTF Spider-Man. Fuck OneDrive. It's all-consuming virus that infects my files and should be purged from this world. Fuck that thing.
That's the Microsoft one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because whenever you save images, they're like, Xbox is great. When I share my screenshots, they put them into a OneDrive that I can go look up.
Modern Mage can no longer be a podlord as he is now a house lord. Parentheses. I bought a house and have a mortgage and shit. Nice. Good job.
Yeah.
Meow.
I have a fond memory of renting Looney Tunes back in action as a kid, but I must have repressed this part of the game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They're like, oh no, Foghorn Leghorn has a monkey body. You gotta go now find a small monkey that just has this entire body on it.
What?
Yeah. So then you find them and then separate them and put them on the right thing, and then you get a monkey out of it.
All right. DFW 3K. Muckbun. Shiny Mew. Kristen. Jack Berry is here to doink chaos.
Yeah!
He's very powerful.
Santi Kunai. Travis Touchdown versus new Raido Kuzunoha Switch Edition. Count Von Admar has risen again. That's always fucking great art of Dracula.
Yes.
God. Kyle Bjork. Zilter. Lordy Fars has no bid this week. Iron Aggro. Blig de Blue. Schligdis Poo. We are Ignoct and Moon Games of Gigamoon.com.
No, I think we've been quite clear about our feelings on Banjo-Tooie. I don't think we need to elaborate at all.
We don't need to elaborate.
I can't handle. I don't know which one's better, the 8-bit hat or the 8-bit denim.
Hope you're ready to get timed out, chat, because here it comes. Don't move. Stand still. Monster Hunter, rising and riding. Here's a joke for you, GigaBoots. Owls aren't birds. Are they not? No, that's why are you lying? That's not a joke. Is fucked up Joker shown in this image just known to lie?
I guess he's from the Batman.
Yes.
I remember his jokes being things like, I stole a train and now I have a little train conductor outfit on. That's the joke.
God damn it. That Joker sucked.
I've got a joke for you now, Riddler. What squeals as loud as Randy P when he loses his special USB?
Why is he holding like the basket from Mousetrap?
I don't know.
I was about to say, is that a laundry hamper from the 1940s?
That's what it looks like. Time to bicycle 300 miles through the mountains, desert, and forest. I chose this suffering. Neck.
No.
Yeah! There's Bruce McGavin.
Wow, that's the main character?
Yeah, that holds too. Also, he's apparently in like one of those Namco cross Capcom games.
Fuck off.
Because this was the newest Resident Evil when it came out, so they got to put him and his Asian wife in there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Cooper Tank. Hey, Bob, what's happening? It's an emo, and if you could put a cover sheet on your TPS report, that'd be great.
Okay.
Time to binge. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what their image is. I don't know that we will be able to. I'll post it for you guys.
Okay.
Okay, I guess.
This is the image. I don't know.
That would be the Super Best Friends Halloween videos that they would do every year.
Oh, okay. It's cutting off half of the words.
Yeah, they play a horror game every day. So by like the third or fourth year, things got real fucking dire.
And they did like 7 years of it.
Wow. Zaster.
Steam, sort by horror.
Just a typical horny dongua.
Oh yeah, more Bruce McGovern.
I looked that up. I look up dongua, right? You know what comes up?
What?
A wiki entry for this game and some sort of Chinese melon. But according to this game, it means idiot.
Yeah, so she calls him a dongua, and he's like, oh, that's cool. What does it mean? It means cool, brave guy. And he starts calling him a dongua the entire time. Then reveals he knew what it meant the whole time, and then they fuck.
I don't have a bit. Have a geese Howard. That was last week.
Okay.
Indigo Sykes. Me, when the luck of the Irish wins cursed content poll. BN12. Evil Lucario. More excited about the Sega Saturn I bought this week than my new Series X. A raccoon may or may not be voiced by a well-known voice actor.
Ooh.
My grandmother once said, if I wish for it, fate will always be my ally.
Keep fighting, Max.
Please.
He looks so panicked.
I know.
It's a really good
That's what
dude face.
That's what happens when you go too long without getting to play MVC2.
You start getting headaches.
Yeah, it's like Shark's counterattack. Aspiring Bamani ambassador Shinji 16 wants to remind you that you matter. Even if you willingly replay Days Gone and Mighty Number 9, get help.
Dan, he's talking directly to you here.
I don't think that was about me.
Okay.
Maria Eve. Mike Z. Confound it! I've been outriddled by Batman! Steve trying to lock me away. I'll be back when you least expect it, Dan!
God damn it, they do coordinate. And it was Mousetrap.
Yeah, we get to see it. It all adds up.
And Veer Barb. Thank you very much to our Podlord.
Thank you,
Podlords.
Yeah, hopefully you can pay for bail, Riddler.
And if you'd like to become a pod lord and maybe take on the identity of the penguin or something, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/PBpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits. Bane, maybe. such as early access to Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool, our 2 anime review podcasts.
Not Batman
Extended
Robin Bane.
armchair
That one's
dev-
bad.
Oh yeah, that one's
That one's bad. You need one that starts the fire.
I kind of know which one I like more, Bob or Feels Attempted Bane.
Feels is pretty actually good. He's really channeling that I'm trapped in a booth and they told me to do a quirky voice.
Extended armchair dev pitches and gamer premonitions when the formats of those show deny us the ability to say things we actually wrote, and a Patreon exclusive show one a month where you get to vote on what good or bad thing we watch and then hear us talk about it and watch it if it's a bad thing because it comes with a commentary track. That's patreon.com/GB podcast.
You only get to be a penguin pod lord if you cosplay the penguin in public spaces and make that your image every week.
Yeah, and it has to be Returns Penguin.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
In fucking diaper mode.
So here we are at the news.
Yes.
Everyone sit down. Brace yourselves.
Okay.
Sony acquired Blue Point Games. Did anyone else see that coming?
Did not see that coming.
The intern in the Japan account saw it coming.
Weird. I wonder how they figured that one out.
Oopsie doo.
Okay. All right. Well, that's our 2-month-old news out of the way.
I know, right? Like, what the fuck took this long with negotiations? Jesus. Check in something real quick. Okay. So for a while, we've had rumors that Lucid, the people behind Destruction All-Stars, was working on a Twisted Metal.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that we got any more deeper confirmation from other leakers. But Jaffe apparently on
Friend
his
of the show.
Yes, friend of the show, David Jaffe did a stream where he was very emotional about it and said some things. And then a bunch of outlets picked up those things, and now he's saying that it's context. You need context.
Yeah, I saw a Reset Era thread that's basically the title was David Jaffe makes weird drunken threats over Twisted Metal.
I'm not sure if he was drunk. He might have been just super high. I haven't seen the original context. I hear that's important. So, you know, I can't comment on it, but he seemed unhappy and talked about how Sony has buried bodies and he knows where he buried them. And I'm like,
okay,
really?
I don't think with context that helps.
No, there's definitely a context where that's okay.
The context is, here's more information about why I'm a kook.
Man,
Friend of the show.
I will feel bad for David Jaffe if this new Twisted Metal becomes like God of War 2018 successful.
I'm going to be honest. The cars feel really fucking good to drive in Destruction All-Stars.
It's like a mini Fortnite type thing where it's like, yeah, it made Sony $1 billion this gen.
I could honestly, now is a perfect time for Twisted Metal to come back.
Yes.
Destruction
absolutely.
All-Stars is really weird because I'm certain someone at Sony said, you can't put weapons on the cars. Then it'll be too much like Twisted Metal. They're like, okay, fine. And then when the game flops, they go, can we just make Twisted Metal then?
And they're like, well, those cars do look good.
Yeah, that game looks nuts. I would really like them to make a Twisted Metal.
Yes.
Angelo is still in Twisted Metal, no explanation.
Yeah!
He's just one of the drivers.
I love how I've seen multiple members of the GigaBoots fandom go, yo, what if Angelo's just there? And he's even more racist.
He's on his racism arc in this. We just called it early.
Mask off.
In Destruction All-Stars, not that racist. In Twisted Metal, super racist.
Oh, no.
Let's do bets now. They make a new Twisted Metal. Gamer premonitions. Will this be the quirkiest Calypso has ever been? We will start with Bob. Bob?
I think this will be fairly normal Calypso, but every single other character will be quirkier than ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
KZ.
They'll be really quirky, but not as quirky as they were in that fucking video game movie we watched. Fucking
You mean Virtual Vendetta, the one that had 2?
The one that had Calypso just stumble out of a fucking broom closet and be like, I'm setting off the events of this movie. I have to go pick up my daughter from daycare. Bye. Feel.
No, but everybody else will be quirkier, like Bob says.
I'm going to commit this will be the quirkiest Calypso has ever been. You know why?
Why is that?
They're going for that Fortnite money.
Let's fucking go. Voiced by Troy Baker.
Game over.
I'm like, is the old one and a real like big voice actor?
The original Calypso?
Yeah, not the original, but I think in like two or three where it was animated.
2 was animated. No one wants to talk about 3.
Yeah.
I don't even. Yeah, I think Calypso talks in 3. 3's weird. So is 4. Fuck both of them. But yeah, in 2, I'm pretty sure it was the famous voice work guy. I don't know if it was voice acting, but voice work. That guy's voice is incredible. God, it would be really good if they got him back. But anyways, I figured I would cover that. That's my news. Hey, Bob.
Hey.
What's your news?
Let's see. That Record of Lodoss War, D-Lit and Wonder Labyrinths is actually coming to consoles on
God.
December 6th. It's going to be on PS4, Xbox, and Switch.
Great news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a new Gungrave Gore trailer.
Yes.
Cool.
They showed gameplay.
Mm-hmm. They did.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
They showed Bunji Kugashira
Yeah.
is playable. Who is in playable in Fairy Southern once. He's the guy with the cool jacket and it's voiced by Steve Bloom. So hopefully that remains. This is a trailer still dubbed in Japanese.
Okay.
We also see, I don't know if we've seen her before, but the girl who commands Grave, I think Misa is her name. I'm not 100% sure. It's been too long. Maybe it's Mika.
It's okay, Bob. We'll get everyone up to speed with Gungrave.
Yeah, we will.
Gungrave month.
Yeah.
So excited.
Oh man, need to get some custom layouts for that.
Bob drawn as Gungrave.
Jesus.
Bob is beyond the grave.
You're the gun.
And it's got a release year for next year, so that's cool. It's actually coming.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I wanted to play Gungrave soon, so that's good.
Yeah.
Get to do that the month beforehand.
And then the last piece of news I got.
Okay.
Netflix acquired Night School Studios, a developer of Oxenfree.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they will continue to develop Oxenfree 2. So that's still going to be normal. But then there's a quote from the Netflix game development vice president. He's like, yeah, we will continue to, get exclusive games designed for every kind of gamer and any level of play. These games will all be included as part of your Netflix membership, all with no ads and no in-app purchases.
The way he has to do that entire thing.
Wow, that's great. I'm looking forward to your offering for the hardcore fighting game players out there.
This title should this news bullet should just be titled "Netflix seals Night School Studios beneath the surface of Earth."
Yes.
Somehow this feels better than the Double Helix situation.
Oh yeah.
No way. I think Netflix will be even more of a disaster than Amazon.
There's no way.
It's almost impossible.
There is literally nothing in this world.
I think it'll be exactly like Amazon. Let me be more specific. I think it'll be the exact same level of we fucked up in ways nobody else in the industry has ever fucked up. We have nobody who knows anything in charge of this.
If Night School Studio cannot ship a game in the next 9 years, I will lose this bet to Phil. Phil, what are we betting?
What are you willing to bet in 2030?
9 years?
Yeah, but
because
if they
it
ship a game at any time between
Yeah, because it needs to be as bad as Double Helix.
Yep.
Didn't Double Helix ship the Grand Tour or some shit?
No.
Let's look it up. Double Helix.
Double Helix first game was Breakaway.
Yeah,
they shipped UFOs Love Cows on Android.
That doesn't count because that game came out the year they were acquired, so it was clearly something
they were integrated into Amazon Game Studios. They were integrated into Amazon Game Studios in 2014. So,
but they didn't work on anything that released. They didn't work on the New World.
How do we know?
Because we know who worked on the New World, and it's not them.
Did they work on the Grand Tour? Okay, no, it won't be as bad as Double Helix. Netflix's stuff into games will be almost as bad as Amazon. It'll be so close.
You really came in and just fucking beat the shit out of Phil for 3 straight minutes.
I was like, this is going to be really good because I was going to bet him buying me a PS6. But since it's, it's
I would never bet that much money on
that
anything.
Shit would be nowhere near launch. Just think
You
about
have
that.
to buy me a second one.
The ultimate fucking disrespect.
we really do need to just do bets on these shows. The concept of that one was thrilling.
Yeah, the fucking they went. Wow, yeah, they just called Double Helix Games defunct as of February 2014 on Amazon or on Wikipedia.
That fucking hurts.
They're like, yeah, they were merged into Amazon Game Studio, Orange County. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Normally, when that sort of thing happens, you just change the name of the studio on Wikipedia and then credit the new things they released since then. Oh, wait.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even know what they're considered anymore. Like they just must have gotten sucked into oblivion.
Technically, I'm looking this up, and since they're counted, they are allegedly Amazon Games Orange County. They are listed as a developer on New World.
Okay. Because every single person touched it.
They can't be Double Helix. They can't be Double Helix.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that.
I feel like Netflix is going to be so much.
Oh, they made Breakaway, so they were going to make Breakaway, so I guess it is them. God.
Yeah, but I feel like Netflix will be so much smaller scale. Where Amazon's making attempts to make big video games. But what is it, Dan?
I was just looking at the fucking Amazon Orange County.
God damn it.
I'm looking at the Amazon games list. It's a fucking graveyard.
Yeah, it is. I've never seen that big a canceled section for a single studio ever.
The shipped games isn't even that long, but then you look at the canceled section, it's like Nova, Intensity, Breakaway, Crucible, Lord of the Rings MMO.
I've also this is also the only time I've ever seen a game move from released to canceled on a Wikipedia page.
True.
Yeah, I really love the Lord of the Rings one where they were really working on it. And then the rights transferred over to someone else, and they're like, "We're still making." And they're like, "No, you're not."
That's fucked up. You think that would have be covered in the acquisition contracts to be like, yeah, you have to let them finish this.
Yeah.
But apparently, no, they didn't give a fuck.
And you know, Amazon was shitting themselves. They're like, "No, we're working on that show. We're gonna make this game. Amazon's gonna be the fucking Tolkien factory for stuff." And then they got kicked in the knees.
So wait, did the Lord of the Rings show also get canceled?
No.
Okay.
No, but you can tell it's like they wanted to synergize a little bit, and they can't even do that now. They just have the show, which is the most expensive show in history of the world.
Yeah, I remember.
It's pretty funny to think about if copyright law wasn't the way it was. It would have been fine, and people could have just, made Lord of the Rings shit by now. But,
The first season has a budget of $465 million?
yes.
Yeah, I think part of that is from just getting the rights cost them $250 million.
There's no fucking way.
There was something where it's like it cost an insane amount of money.
That's what it is.
Because I read it and went, what the fuck?
It cost them $250 million to get the rights for Lord of the Rings.
Then don't do it. You're not making that money back.
Yeah, it's not happening.
No,
man.
they wanted their own Game of Thrones, and then Game of Thrones wings fell off and spun out and hit a wall.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was our
Amazon segment.
Netflix segment, which got co-opted by other nightmares.
Yeah.
Now we have to talk about Amazon more.
Oh no! All I was going to say is, yeah, Oxenfree devs can absolutely ship something in the next 3 years.
Also Netflix is shooting for like smaller scale. Their previous stuff was the Telltale Minecraft story mode was playable on Netflix. They did a Black Mirror Bandersnatch, where it was like a choose your own adventure style thing, where you would make choices, but it was still like a Black Mirror like thing that was filmed. So it's like they're clearly going to go for something hyper casual that you can use a TV remote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The worrying part of this is just if they continue to do it and then they have various games that are actually real games locked to a streaming only platform.
Yeah, I don't believe there will be like real games in it. It'll be like really casual core things.
Yeah, I think they're just bullshitting us and blowing smoke up our ass when they say designed for every kind of gamer and any level of play. That just sounds like bullshit to me, but
Yeah.
I don't expect to see something and go, oh, this could be great if it was on a console. It's going to be like, this is for that.
let me rephrase this, okay, just so I'm crystal clear to Bob and everyone who's listening. Here's what's going to happen. They're not going to make any games for the core gamer, but they'll let other people bring over core games for core gamers.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But they're not going to pay for exclusivity on any of that shit for any long period of time because they know that's not the real market.
Yeah, they're busy spending $400 million to get Seinfeld or something.
Do they still do that?
Yeah, they did that like 2 weeks ago with Seinfeld.
How is it always this ridiculous?
Yeah, I saw Netflix Seinfeld trailer. I'm like, are they bringing it back? It's like, no, it's just the old show. They bought the rights again.
Wow. How do they
Netflix
do
is
it?
going to ship like the Office GIF maker, and we'll find out it cost $750 million somehow.
It's so fucking bad over there, and we're paying $40 a month for 720p.
Hey, Phil. Let's do it.
Amazon's big MMO New World came out this week. It has been plagued by problems, both inexplicable, explicable, and so pitiful that I had to put my head down for like 5 minutes since I heard it.
Yeah, you can see some of the chat tell us some of these bits of news while we're live with like Metroid Samus Returns. And we're just like, come on, what?
The big one, the one that was most pathetic to me is like, yeah, we didn't really take into account, which by the way, this game had fucking pre-orders on Steam. They knew exactly how many people were going to try to log in on launch day, and this still happened. They're like, we didn't really take into account how many people would want to play this, so you have like queue times of like 6 or 7 hours. Also, we paid a bunch of big Twitch streamers money to play our game, and that money is now being spent with them looking at the login screen being told that they have 8 hours to wait while making fun of us.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, I got cut some money, and I'm now just going to sit and do nothing.
You know, when I heard about it having some of the highest viewers numbers on Twitch, I didn't expect it to be that.
Yeah, but
As I said, Bob, if you recall,
Yes,
that is, however, I think somebody said 484,000 people were watching New World streams.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's called rubbernecking.
Yes.
They're all looking at the fire.
I didn't think the fire would literally be a login screen that's not working.
yes. Yeah, that's where it's at.
How many people
Don't
are
worry,
still
Bob.
watching it?
Oh, God.
Don't worry, Bob. If you
we
oh
need
God,
to do
okay,
that.
I'm going to check right now.
Oh, we got to take bets now.
Okay, I'll look it up so I can't take bets.
Okay.
Dan.
Now I'm like, did I misremember the numbers? Okay, let's assume I didn't. I'm going to assume that I didn't misremember the numbers. It's been enough days. It's not as funny anymore, but it's still kind of funny and interesting. I'm going to say 130,000.
Bob.
I'm gonna say 50,000.
KZ.
80,000.
350,000?
Okay.
They're still paying people.
I
Okay.
thought I was being way
Okay.
too conservative. I was so glad you two didn't go over.
Yeah, I was like, well, I don't think they're gonna still be paying people. It's been a week,
They're made of money.
but yeah, they're made of money. Is it still?
no,
is it like Ninja and stuff? I assume. Is it something insane like that?
No, it's like Shroud. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's relatively.
But they're like they're some big. They have like 120,000 people watching them right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some
but-
like pretty big MMO people that they can just snap
if you
up.
get it, if you do get into the game, if you go too far from a camp and die, you have to wait a week to respawn, which is a bug. But I feel like that's the worst possible
like a
bug you could
real
get on
world
a-
week.
Yeah, real world week.
That seems unreal. I don't know how they even made that mistake.
Who knows? It's
And it didn't come up in the beta.
I feel like we need to start calling New World what it actually is, WildStar 2.
Yeah. I mean, did you say that on a stream, Bob? Was it you or Phil who brought up WildStar?
We were talking about WildStar. I have no idea why.
Yeah, you were playing Samus Returns, and I was like, why the fuck do you remember WildStar?
Well,
I remember
KZ.
WildStar. People were like, "It's the WoW killer," and then you never heard of it ever again.
Yeah, because it had real people who worked on WoW.
Wow.
And I think the way it finally died is they released some horrible thing that broke everything, and they're like, yeah, our engine doesn't allow us to roll back the patch.
Oh.
So this is gonna take like 2 weeks to fix, and then that just completely killed the game.
Good fucking God. Well, thank you.
That's how a lot of MMOs die. Like Warhammer Fantasy, the MMO, they died because they just had a payment issue that charged everybody like 15 times each.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah.
Stadia did that to me, and that hasn't stopped.
At one stand. At one stand.
Oh, okay.
You'd notice that one, Dan.
Yeah, I would hope so.
So we got some KOF 15 news.
Ooh.
There's a new character, Isla. She is like the rival character to Shuhei, who was the new protagonist in KOF 14 and has like the fire and ice hands. She has spray paint hands and keeps her hands in her pocket while she fights. And she just has like the floating spray paint hands being her hands.
It's very JoJo's. It's quite cool.
I thought this was funny. Terry no longer has any charge moves because they put out the move sets for like 8 characters. And like, haha, you're like, oh, this is our Ryu. We can't have charge moves. That scares casual players.
He only had one before, right? I think it was just Rising Tackle.
Yeah, I think it was just Rising Tackle, but that's just a Dragon Punch now.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I'm always for simplifying move inputs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Melty Blood does a bunch of, okay, hit down twice in an attack, and that's a move.
Yeah, or like hold the button a bit more.
KOF 98 Ultimate Match for PC is going to get rollback this summer. They said that during that event.
Woo!
Nice.
They also like the Neo Geo Pocket Color and SNK vs Capcom games are now on Steam.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they also hit other consoles like PlayStation gets it, because now it's Steam and Switch, and that's it.
Other fighting game things. BlazBlue Central Fiction has like some update coming on PC that people are thinking might be rollback because Arceus was like, yeah, we're gonna try and update our older games with rollback netcode. Which, like, man, if you put that into the PS4 version, like, I'll play the shit out of BlazBlue Central Fiction.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I'd really appreciate that. And a dub.
Yeah.
But, I'll take the rollback.
Right?
I had pretty good experiences playing BlazBlue on the PS3 back in the day online, so I can only imagine how good that would feel with, rollback.
Right.
And finally, GTA the Trilogy, the definitive edition, rated in Korea. Some people have told jokes that this will be GTA 5 PS3, GTA 5 PS4, and GTA 5 PS5.
Finally.
Oh,
But
I was going for a different joke. I was going to say, finally, we can play GTA 1, 2, and 3.
whoa,
The 3 people won.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Liberty City and Vice City stories and Chinatown Wars.
Oh, man, these are all good trilogies.
Yeah.
but I'm pretty excited. I like Vice City a whole lot. I like San Andreas also. I've never actually played 3 because like by the time I was allowed to play that, Vice City was out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do
I was like, let's get Vice.
do a mission in which you have to kill a dude who drives away, and before the mission starts, I'll put a bomb on their car.
I'll get to that mission in Vice City where you have to beat your escape driver in a race that I've never been able to do. So I'll be like, I'll just turn on flying cars, and his AI doesn't know how to deal with that, and he'll just drive off into the ocean, and I can win. And I can win the race unopposed. That's the only way I was ever able to beat that. There's so much fucked up shit in those games, like the fucking RC helicopter mission in San Andreas given to you by David Cross.
I don't know what's wrong with them.
We now throw it to KZ for news.
Okay, this one came in today. So the voice actor for Kratos for the newer God of Wars, Christopher Judge, gave some insight on why the new game got delayed, which was pretty random. He was just kind of saying it in general. He's like, yeah, at the very end of 2019, I couldn't walk because he had to get back surgery, replaced both of his hips, and get knee surgery. He could not move at all for months. And he told the team, and the team said, we'll wait for you. It's no problem. We are perfectly accommodating to everything you need. And then he went through his rehabilitation, and then he could get back on set and do the performances and stuff for the new game. And then Corey talked about it. He's like, we'll do anything for you, man. Don't worry about it. We're with you. So apparently that's part of why that game got delayed.
Oh, wow.
It's just the main actor could not do anything with that game.
It's funny for that game to get the explanation of here's why it took so long to come out. It's like, I think it's taken 4 years. Who knows? But Horizon took
it'll be
fucking 7 or some shit.
Yeah.
5.
5. Okay, 5. It feels like an eternity. When
Yeah.
somebody goes, "Hey, remember Horizon came out?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was It feels like it should have been PS3."
I mean, it launched alongside the Switch.
It launched
Which was a long
alongside.
time ago.
It launched just barely after the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, February 2017.
Yep, that's nuts.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't even have to say that, he just said it randomly, and it was like, oh, that's you're a real class act. I'm surprised you can walk.
Yeah.
Fucking both hips replaced.
Now here's what I need to ask. Wasn't that the year he went to the Game Awards where he presented on stage some award? I think that was the year. I think he was at the last one that wasn't post-COVID.
Oh, okay, I guess so. Because he was talking about it was like August or September 2019. He could not walk.
Okay, so it may have been the prior year.
Yeah,
Then again, that
which
would've
would
been-
make sense. That's the year the year the game came out.
Right.
Yeah, but
Right.
yeah, that was an interesting thing that came out earlier today. Next thing I have is very funny. This is coming from Bloomberg. 11 developers, big and small, are in possession of a 4K Nintendo Switch dev kits. It was then that within 2 hours, Nintendo, on like their, I guess, shareholder like financing account, whichever one, made public tweets saying, "Shut the fuck up. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. We just released previews for the OLED 2 days ago. Shut the fuck up."
Definitely not real. Don't believe it. Don't believe the lies.
I'm more inclined to like, who the fuck knows what happens now anymore? Because we're in like a brave new world where console generations don't really work the same way anymore.
And Nintendo was quirky before this.
Yeah. So I could see it being like, well, it's not a new Switch. It's the successor to the Switch, but every game will still be on both for 3 years.
Yes.
Yes, and that's what's going to happen whenever the new thing happens anyways.
Yeah. The Switch
So,
Pro is
so
the
like,
Switch
I could-
2.
Yeah.
Like I could see Nintendo being like in January. Yeah, it comes out in March.
Yeah, totally possible.
Oh yeah, 100% because they're Nintendo.
Yes.
That's when they launched the Switch originally.
But we did get a teaser.
in October of the year prior.
Was it October? I thought it was November.
It was October because I remember the wait when they said more in January. I'm like, are you insane? That was my thought back then because we were waiting so long for the payoff of NX.
All I remember is when they showed it off and people were like, "Whoa, that looks really cool. I could play Mario Kart in the car and like on the go and stuff." And I'm like, "I told you assholes it would be cool."
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, there's some secret shit in here. Why do you have 2 items? They're hiding new shit for this Switch thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just assumed they're bullshitting. And then, yeah, of course, fucking.
Yeah, like all the journalists who were like, "Hey, remember when I covered this exact thing about Nintendo 10 years ago?" And they denied it up and down until a week later when it happened.
You mean the Wii U ceasing production
Yes.
whenever that happened 8 years ago or whatever?
Yeah, between that and people going, it's just someone going for clicks. I'm like, it's Bloomberg. You have to pay them.
So they're going for clicks
Yeah,
with
all
money.
these fucking people, and Bloomberg, you have to pay like more money than any sane human being would give a journalism outlet.
Yes.
I was hoping you would just end that with give a journalism.
Not a million.
Let me check what it is right now, because I remember. Okay, it's not as insane as it looks like. Oh, they cut it from $35 a month to $2 if you're a new sign up.
Whoa.
35 a month?
What a deal.
That's Netflix's price next year.
Yeah, how insane.
That's what Game Pass is going to cost a month from now.
Here's what's fucked up. You guys ready for this? I'm going to read the text because it's way funnier than the way Phil phrased it because it shows how gross they are. Your monthly limit of free content is about to expire.
Yes.
Stay on top of historic market volatility. Try 3 months for $8.75 crossed out. 50 cents per week.
I despise these people.
Per week. Funniest goddamn website on the internet.
Well, it's just like a newspaper.
Uh-huh.
So it should die.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's what I got out of what Bob said.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. So they put out some Pokemon stuff this week.
Oh, actually, real quick before we move on.
Sure.
If you have an iOS phone, if you have an iPhone, just go to the Bloomberg website, hit reader mode. You can read the whole article. In the Safari browser, if you just look at those letters next to the address bar, in iOS 5, it's at the bottom. Just click the A and the bigger A. It will turn it into a reader format article. They can't stop you.
That's hilarious.
That shit's funny. I found that on Twitter.
Oh, man. I need to do that for American Test Kitchen stuff.
Yo, I wonder if that works there. I have no fucking idea. Hey, KZ, what were you talking about?
Fucking Randall Weems is seething that you're giving these tips out.
No, right? I'm going to get sued by Bloomberg because I told people about reader mode on their iPhone.
Yes. We got 2 new Pokemon trailers this week. First up, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl got a trailer that was less drunk than the last one we got, where they zoomed in on text and were quirky.
Cave.
Yeah, this time it was showing off various features in it. The Pocketch is back. Is that how you pronounce the Pokewatch?
Poketch.
Poketch?
Yeah.
Because it's Pokemon.
Sure.
Poketch.
The Poketch is back. It's like a little screen on like the corner. It has all the features the old one used to have, but they've added one for HMs. Now, before I read the press release, I almost shit my pants. I was like, no way. I've been a staunch believer HMs, they wouldn't make me have to fucking get a Bidoof. HMs are back. When you use them, a random wild Pokemon will do whatever it is you need to do. So it'll cut something, it'll rock climb for you. So it's just the ride Pokemon. They just didn't like retool the game to be like, you're in the area where you get on the Tauros and ride it.
Is 4th gen the one that has like 15 HM?
Yes.
Yes. That's why I was nervous.
Okay.
Where I'm like, you can't trick me into putting defog on a Pokemon. Thankfully, they're like, no, a wild Pokemon will help you.
I don't know why they did that. They should have had it. Here's your special Pokemon trainer.
Uh-huh.
This one can learn more moves. You can't use it in battle. It's a Bidoof. It knows every single HM.
That would have been great. Where they're like,
Yeah, that's what I would have expected.
Pokemon.
Or I would have expected it just to be like, the way HMs work now is you just have to have a Pokemon on your team that could conceivably learn it.
Yeah, that'd be a neat way to do it too.
Yeah, but yeah, the HMs are back, but now it's just like a progress thing where it's like, you beat this part of the game, you have cut. Okay, a bird will swoop down and cut that for you, or whatever wild Pokemon it chooses. And then just showed various characters from that gen. The next trailer they did was Pokemon Legends Arceus. First off, they're like, you have a phone, which defies all logic of this world that they've built. You just have a cell phone.
Yeah.
It's for your Pokedex and whatnot. And I'm like, sure, why not? They showed off a bunch of characters. These are wardens. They're supposed to guard the noble Pokemon in the game. And a lot of them are ancestors of people from the Sinnoh region. So it has like Commander Mars or whatever from Team Galactic was one of them. And various others. I know Gen 4 characters a lot less than some of the other ones. And people saw a lot of other ones through background shots. But they showed them off a little bit. Looks like you might be able to like battle them and whatnot. They showed like player customization, photo mode related things, more gameplay. They showed this shot where you're riding on the fish Pokemon Basculegion, and you like do a giant like big jump 40 feet in the air, and then you can just immediately turn around and throw a Pokeball at, like this Octillery that's on like a little secluded rock and catch it. So it looks like they've really fleshed out the open world stuff like even more to where I'm actually getting excited for the game. And then they showed what I imagine are going to be the main bosses in the game, these Pokemon Nobles that glow gold. and
Pokemon noble team.
It's noble, actually. Yes.
Yeah, they show them off. They like glow gold. You have to like run away from them, do battle, and try and like power them down or something. Because at the end they show it like it loses its glow, and then I guess you could catch it. But they showed Cleavor, a brand new evolution of Scyther that makes him Bug Rock. That
I'm googling this.
Yeah, he looked pretty sick. Where I'm like, this is a scary boy. Yeah, look at that big
Yeah, that's
guy.
pretty horrifying.
Yeah, I know. Look at this big guy. And for your introduction it looks like it's going to be like the first boss because they're like, it's level 18 and it's chasing you and throwing shit at you. And I'm like,
Yeah, that game looks really fucking good.
Yeah, that trailer was the moment I became hyped for the game because I'm like, it's running fine. And I'm seeing a bunch of different, like, I'm seeing the characters and starting to figure out some level of a format where it's like, these wardens are watching over the habitats of the noble Pokemon, so it's like you'll get into those places and catch them and fight these dudes and stuff. But yeah, all that looked really real neat, and also it's great because you can see the thing that all the Gen remakes did, where they're like, we got to redesign an old character, but this time we can just design them as ancestors of those older characters. That's all the Pokemon news that we got for now. Most important news of the week. We will hear more about Chaos next week on October 2nd at the Square Enix TGS Square Enix Presents, because we're going to see more from Stranger Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
Please do another demo.
I have the music blaring in my head.
Yeah, I know. I might edit it in.
It's killing
because
me.
it's the important moment where we get to see more of that game. I hope they do another demo to get more feedback. And I'm like, wow, look, this runs stably now.
I'm very excited to see it again.
Oh yeah, I'm like, you'll probably win my GOTY next year.
You know
should
what?
show me more of it, please.
You know what? Actually see it for the first time.
Yeah, I want
That
to.
fucking demo's dark as shit.
Yeah,
I want to see it for the first time, and in this demo, please let me play as a monk so I can mark the fuck out.
God, yes. For some reason, Monk's the strongest class by like tenfold. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they show us the great sword that doesn't look like the ugliest sword ever made.
Instead of that slab of metal. Yeah, I would like some more variants there, please.
They're like, here's our variety of great swords. And I'm like, Siegfried used all of these in Soul Calibur 2.
Yes.
yeah.
And they're like, yes, of course.
Of course. Chaos.
Oh, there was one other piece of news this week.
What's that?
Bamco has a really shitty fucking logo now.
Oh, it's the worst.
It is the fucking worst ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably the worst one since the Konami swoop disappeared and they became red text Konami.
Yeah.
This is worse than that.
Yes, it is.
This is a bad talk bubble with a boring font on it.
Yeah, with some weird company slogan under it.
Like, guys, fucking, I'm sorry, but Twitch has the talk bubble logo. You don't get to also have one. Like, you're in sort of the same industry.
You had a logo that looks so, like, perfectly fine.
As Trinity Warlock said on Twitter, more like Blandai Namco.
Boom!
Got him.
Explosion sounds go here. We'll just cut in the intro to Metroid 2. It's nothing but explosions for a while.
Oh, okay.
And that's the news.
Boom. Done.
We also got a release date for that Monster Hunter on the PC.
Oh, yeah, that's coming out January something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's January or something.
Yeah, it's around the middle. I'm probably going to pick that up. Their survey they have up is asking what people want with Monster Hunter, and they included cross-save and cross-progression between platforms. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would like that.
Yeah,
Be great.
because some people I know have 200 hours into the Switch version and would absolutely double dip if they could.
They also said they're going to do a Sonic the Hedgehog collaboration.
Yes!
I'm very excited for whatever that is.
Dude, oh my god. Can I turn my fucking dog into Knuckles? God, that would be so good.
Oh, I have to talk shit about Sony for a second.
Sure.
Sony announced their October free games for PS Plus. One of them is MKX. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I have no idea. That game's loved by the FGC.
Also is already given away for free on the PlayStation Plus collection if you have a PS5.
Yeah, I think it's MKXL is on the PS5.
So
it's even a worse version.
Yeah, but it's for the PS4, so if you only have a PS4,
But
this
it's
is
still
like you
7 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say and bad. I don't care if it's balanced perfectly. That thing is such a downgrade from 9. 9 is so good. Playing those back to back
Johnny
really cemented that for me.
Johnny Cage looks like Johnny Bravo in that one.
Yeah.
What fucked up?
Imagine if he said that at 11. He's like, yo, I used to look like Johnny Bravo. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it doesn't seem any more alarming than, oh yeah, there's a bad game on PS Plus, or like it's not the strongest.
Normally it's not like, here's this thing from 7 years ago.
Yeah, they had been getting better since the PS5 came out. They hadn't been 7-year-old game.
Somebody posted, and I have not been able to find out to verify myself, that Japan got the Castlevania Advance Collection.
What?
I'm like, fuck you. And I could not find a way to verify what's free on PlayStation Plus for Japan this month.
Oh, they added on PS Plus's games lineup a fourth game that was the Castlevania Symphony of the Night Rondo.
Oh, that's right. It was the Rondo.
Yeah, it was
that
double pack.
Is that all territories or just Japan?
I think it was all territories because I saw Wario 64 talking about it.
Okay, that's good. That's
good. That's good. That makes it less painful, but still.
Yeah. I mean, hell, man, if you have PlayStation Plus, please enjoy a free copy of that bad port. At least you get a Symphony of the Night then. At least you get a Rondo of Blood then. The best? Not really. Fuck the audio quality. Anyway, that's going to do it for news. Bob, the answer is no. America's Test Kitchen is so smart that disabled the fucking reader view.
How could they?
They're smarter than Bloomberg.
Oh, yeah,
How good is that?
I found out some very important information about trophies.
Okay.
Those cotton ports from the Saturn game.
Uh-huh.
Each of them only have 12 trophies.
Okay.
But they have platinum.
Oh, no! This is terrible news, Bob. You know how hard shmup trophies are?
Right? It's probably terrible.
It's going to be like 1cc the whole game. Okay. Fine. It's fine. I'll get good at shmups finally. God. Coming up in the next week, we are going to be playing Metroid Other M. And on Friday, we should be playing Metroid Dread, which is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Even if it's Samus Returns at 60 frames per second, I'll be like, what a fucking upgrade! And since I already enjoyed Samus Returns,
Yep.
doing pretty all right. What do you got going on, KZ?
I'm going to be trying to chip through more of my backlog of like games that keep coming out. Like I bought the upgrade to Death Stranding and I haven't even launched it at all. I also haven't even touched Kana yet. So eventually. And now I'm learning that Hot Wheels game that came out is apparently sick as shit and got good reviews. Like someone posted a clip on Twitter just now. I'm like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like photorealistic and it's got like 9 out of 10s from tons of different places.
Yeah, and I saw a clip that's just someone doing a fucking moon jump like it's Mario Kart 64 Rainbow Road and like activating the fucking NOS and like landing across the map. And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't been hyped for a Hot Wheels game since a friend of mine had one on the PC with a wheel in 1999. So I'm like, I don't know. I will, depending on what it's priced at. But yeah, cool. just chipping through more games as the sky continues to fall. I'll probably stream Metroid Fusion ahead of the release of Dread, so I can at least play Metroid 4 before 5.
Yeah, and I think Bob said he was going to buy Far Cry that week and play the whole thing, right?
I did not say that. That is not something I have ever said.
Oh, that's great. Hi, my name's Bob. I'm going to buy the Ultimate Edition for $120.
Wow, Bob, that's
what
intense.
a bargain.
Oh, man, there's so much content here. I love that Giancarlo. He's very strapping.
He's the best. He tells fish stories. Hey, Phil, what are you doing?
Final Fantasy VIII will continue until brooding teenagers improve.
I have bad news.
Hopefully those mods won't crash the game again like they did the first time, where I get to one of the AI upscaled CG cutscenes and it's like, we're just going to go photo negative and then crash. And then the next time it worked perfectly and I'm like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed.
If it makes you feel better, the creator of the mod doesn't either.
I don't understand how even the mod did it, because the mod was literally just replace these video files with these video files.
Computer games are the devil.
You see that thing in Capcom wants half of their sales to come from PC?
Yes.
They want PC to be as big as console for their sales.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, Monster Hunter is like their best performing PC game.
Yeah.
And even that's like they basically said, we want to get 2.2 more million sales from PC. And it's like, whoa.
Maybe
It's a shitload.
maybe they mean like over a huge period of time, because I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, like DMC4 sold as much on PC as it did on consoles.
Maybe.
Because that game sold for years and years and years on PC.
Plus, no one wanted to play the PS3 version.
Yeah.
Them launching Monster Hunter Sunbreak, Rise Sunbreak, like on both platforms is gonna certainly
That's going to help, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I guess for a game like that, it would be pretty easy to match it because it's only on one other platform. But most of what Capcom does is like PlayStation and Xbox or all three.
Yeah, and with Xbox, that's 18 platforms.
And
with
for some reason, only 3% of sales. Sorry, 8.5.
A game has to sell a whopping 100,000 copies on PC to match Xbox platforms.
Yo, did you see that Xbox TGS show where they're like, I don't know.
We didn't even talk about that for news.
I don't know, that 5-year-old Japanese Spike Chunsoft game. We put that on Game Pass. Here's the PC specs for Forza Horizon 5.
Hey. They also got Scarlet Nexus for Game Pass.
As they were telling me this shit from the conference, I'm like, this is a bummer. I use the restroom, I come back, and then they go, yo, they showed Gungrave Gore gameplay. And I'm like, I'm glad the Xbox show got a thing. And they go, no, this is outside of that.
That was actually posted on the PlayStation channel.
I'm so
Oh,
no! Thank you for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. If you would like to support us, head on over to www.patreon.com/gbpodcast, where you can get extra podcasts and early access to our anime podcast, Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool. Head on over there and become a $5 backer or a podlord today. This month's GigaBoots executive producers are Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Starfalcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Dobo Muito Real, Ace Gundam Pilot Adam Admar, Cooper Tank, Zilter, and Virmvarm. Thank you very much to our executive producers. And also these gamers. If you want to be a gamer or ascend to God Kinghood, then head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.